I hope you're all bopping away to that one. I certainly was. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Fan View live. After you may have heard, it was a pretty big performance. It's a pretty big win. Life's pretty good. Man City are pretty goddamn good at football, and everything is absolutely wonderful. I cannot wait to chat to Blues tonight. Don't forget, if you want to have your say, I've sent a link. So if you're watching as a Patreon, I've messaged you all on Patreon. If you're watching as a member, there's a link in the community tab over on YouTube. I've already got so many people waiting. I can see plenty of people in the virtual green room. So I can't stay with everyone for long tonight simply because there's too many people to chat to and we'll be here forever otherwise. But it's pretty goddamn good. Look at that private chat lobby. Everyone's chatting away. Scott's in there, Ray, Lewis, Oliver, everyone else. Sean's in there. Sean, I can't skip you, unfortunately, mate. But maybe you can come back, mate. Maybe you can. You need to stop cooking salmon. Sean's in the comments saying he's cooking salmon. Can you go early? But if everyone wants to let you skip, you can do. But either way, that was wonderful. YouTube.com/esteemed company/join if you want to become a member and join. I'm going to get the first one on. Lewis, I hope you're ready, mate. I'm going to come to you in a couple of seconds. I'm going to come to you because he's moving the camera around an awful lot. Hopefully he's ready. Here you are. 3, 2, 1.
Yo.
You're right there, man. How you doing?
I don't like having the pressure being first, but okay, whatever.
Yeah, no, you do, man. You have the impression. Yeah, there's no pressure. We just beat Paris Saint-Germain 2-1 away over in the Champions League semi-final. How are you feeling? You look pretty happy. You pretty chuffed.
Oh my, like, it's just unreal. How? It's just unreal how we got here.
Is it? That's my question. Is it unreal, or is it just is it actually just a result of Man City being really, really brilliant? And are we overthinking, being surprised how good this team are anymore?
Yeah, totally. It's just weird, like how, I don't know. It's just having that expectation of where we were in the first half to where we were in the second, and where we like literally, I can't explain it.
I think it's as simple as this, man. We're just very good at football. Like that wasn't City in the first half, and that's what I was saying on the watch along. That wasn't City in the first half. We just played badly. And I don't. Like, when we've got that long left in a tie, the way I see it is that we can't really judge City based on a bad spell, because it was a bad spell. It was literally a quarter of the game, and I knew at some point we'd play well in this tie, and I wasn't sure if it'd be that soon or in the second leg, but I knew some point we were going to play well, and I guess that's what happened in the second half. I mean. How are you feeling now about the second leg? Is that gap enough for you? Or do you want to see a little bit? Are you still nervous ahead of the second leg?
Yeah, we got there in the end, and I was just like, I was happy with because I was just talking to my dad and brother, and they felt the pressure as much as me, and they're not City fans, but they could understand, they could feel how tense it was in that game.
Yeah.
And when moments came, like, my dad is normally not someone, he knows football, but it's just like there was moments where it's just like, he's like, come on, we got to take those. But I have to say, the first half, we can't say we were bad. We have to say, for me personally, I thought Pochettino made it perfect. Like, tactically, he had it spot on. He knew how to work it out, how to City to how to press and how to drop off in each moment. There were moments where we had chances, like Foden especially, but Pochettino, he got it, he worked it out brilliantly, and I was like, if that was me 2-3 years ago, I'd be naive and just be like, come on, we should have done better. We should have done better here. We should have done better there. But now seeing it, it's just like Pochettino was just like.
How much was it Pochettino? How much is that City just turned up and played badly? Because I agree they played well in the first half, but the amount of passes City were giving away, it was just sloppy 4-yard passes straight to them.
I'd say it's just cobwebs again. Like, I can't remember if it was you with ASAM this morning, or it was just trying to get or Lloyd yesterday in the 9320 podcast. I can't remember who it was. But just getting those the jabs in, the range in, and just be trying to figure out how it work. And PSG
that's football.
Yeah, exactly. It's weird how all different sports are they're different in their own ways, but we use the same analogies in that sort of
Yeah.
It's just like it's so
It's,
weird, like how it can happen. It's
it's mad when
funny,
you
but it's
watch
like
it. Like their confidence after that first goal, then our confidence after our goal. It's just like you can tell at that level. It's just about who's in the right headspace, isn't it? Because they're obviously both brilliant teams, and it'll be the same in the other tie with Chelsea and Madrid. I mean, any of the four sides are capable of winning this competition because they've got quality players, and it really is whoever's confident and in the moment, whoever has the right momentum and stuff, man. But Lewis, like. How do you
Louis,
feel
by the
now
way.
ahead of the second leg? Louis, sorry, man, Louis, sorry, Louis. No, I know there's too many different spellings of that name.
Yeah.
But like, you must get that all the time as well. I apologize.
No, it's
I
fine,
actually
it's
have a
fine
friend.
now.
I have a friend called like who's spelt that way called Lewis. So it's one of those things where that's the confusing thing. But Louis, man, like, who do you play in the second leg now? Does Zinchenko start for you, or does Cancelo play? Like, does anyone?
Yeah, hands down. I was like, obviously, I got disconnected with you in the Dortmund second leg, and I said about Zinchenko, and I wasn't his biggest fan like before, but this season he's been so good now. And if someone said to me, "Who would you like if we get a left back?" And said, "Who would you want not to be sold?" I'd say Zinchenko now, hands down, because he's such a good player. He gives. And this is what I love. He's like Zinchenko, Zabaleta at left back for us.
Yeah,
he gives his all. And tactically,
Mate,
I don't know if it's a coincidence, but when he came on tactically, we looked sharper, we looked better, like more on the ball.
You got to bear in mind as well.
Yeah,
he's not the same guy as a year ago. Now he's the captain of Ukraine. Now he's obviously comfortable. Yeah. He's getting more and more experienced. And his retention, his passing, and all that kind of stuff, man, it's top quality, and that makes a difference when you can't keep the ball. You know, and that was one of our problems. Louis, man, like, unfortunately, there's 10 people waiting to get on, and so I know some people are watching right now are trying to get in, but there's a limit of how many people can get into the backstage green room, unfortunately. So I'm trying to try and give everyone 5 minutes because otherwise we'll be here all night. But mate, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure. I'm sure I'll catch you at the weekend as well. For now, though, thank you so much. For coming on, man. Go enjoy yourself. Go on.
Speaking of that, what would you go with for that game? Because I'd hope that we go strong and then hope that Liverpool do us a favour, and then we go into next week being like, we've won the Premier League, we can go all guns blazing.
There's a comment on that. Yeah, Alex E said, Falls on Saturday, I say we play a weekend team, Mendy, Torres, Ake. Am I right that if we win United, lose, we win the title? Yeah, that's correct. I think personally we have to look at, we've got a buffer. We've got like a buffer, and like I think we have to take the risk of playing a weekend team personally. I think we should, not a fully weekend, but there should be some changes just because we've got a few chances to get it right, and like the PSG game's massive now. I would personally do some changes. I know some people wouldn't want to win the league, but I do.
Agreed.
Palace, we should be trying to win it, man. We should do. But Louis, man, I'm gonna have to get on Scott because they've got so many people waiting. But for now, man, go and enjoy yourself. Have a good evening, all right? In a bit,
you too,
man. See
man.
you later. Thank you so much.
Peace.
See you later. Scott, I'm coming for you, man. I'm gonna have to kick out everyone who's already been on out of the green room, so just so everyone else can get in. So otherwise, no one will be able to get in. So if you're watching and you're in the green room, I kick you out. Go back over to the YouTube video if you want to carry on. Scott, I'm coming for you, man. I'm coming for you.
Hey.
Hello, my friend.
How's it going?
Enjoy. It's nice to be surrounded.
You saw me standing alone. Without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
That's the blue moon. Like, it's so hard to get the timing. Like, but either way, it's nice to be surrounded with someone with a little bit of energy and positivity. Because when I'm sat there trying to fight fires in the chat, you're there, you and Jerry, and I'm like, and it's just, I'm always like, everyone calm down, please calm down, and you're there, just like, come on. And that's how he was, mate. How you, Scott Denemy energy, always, man. Bit of Denemy energy. And also Mark saying the same thing. I love it. Mate, how are you feeling? And obviously, I know how you're feeling, but put it
I'm feeling ecstatic right now. I mean, that was a great second half. I think that they definitely came out and showed the spirit of the team and played together. And yeah, I mean, I was super excited. Yeah, just like even the free kick that Mahrez had, where they kind of all discussed and had a nice team meeting. And I think they just know, man, they're all about it. They're like, yeah, you take it. You got that left foot, let it rip.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like That's it. I guess it comes down just to confidence in them as players as well. Like they just trust Mahrez now, and not that they shouldn't have trusted him before, but they're definitely playing with a confidence and conviction in each other that it probably hasn't been there before in the Champions League for Man City, and it feels different to the last time we were there, which is a long time ago now, because it should be different because it's a different side, you know, and it feels to me, I know the Chelsea game was painful, but it feels to me our priorities were one final, which we're already in, the Premier League eventually, and then this. And Pep was probably right to take those risks, you know. And tonight, be honest, how were you feeling at half time? Because I know you're positive, but like, how were you feeling at half time? Were you, where was your head at? Because it would be so easy, and I could sit here and say and go, "Oh, I knew I wasn't scared" or whatever. I wasn't nervous, of course I was. But where were you, man?
Yeah, I was definitely a little bit nervous at halftime. Just because like I think you mentioned it before, the back passes were getting cut off really well by PSG, and they're doing a good job of limiting our ability to kind of play out the back. But then I think somebody in the comments here was saying that the two forwards kind of dropped in and started playing more in the midfield, which really played to our advantage in the second half, so that we were able to actually swing it around and kind of get that movement that we're so used to seeing out of us. So I think, yeah, I was definitely a little bit nervous, definitely going into the halftime. But I knew, if you go back and you look in the comments, I said 2 incoming goals second half while everybody was freaking out. So I had no doubt.
When are people going to learn to just, because we won't always win, obviously, but we pretty much always do win. So when are people going to learn to stop giving up on this? I don't know if it's something like, it's just like people, I think it's a defense mechanism. Like if you presume the worst and you say, oh, we're going to lose, it doesn't feel that bad if we do lose. But I think we just need to probably just start having a little bit more confidence in the side. Not everyone, of course, because I know you definitely don't need to be told that. But like, but in general, as a fan base, I know this is the whole typical City mentality, but typical City now is City just winning 31. I don't even know. I lose track of the record because it changes. It's like 32 out of 35, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
But either way, we need to just be like, we need to get behind this side and start believing in this side, because we were literally like 1/8 of the way through the whole time when everyone was freaking out or something like that, you know, after we conceded, and like it's nothing, absolutely nothing, man. It's like there was hardly any reason at the time. By the way, just Jerry's here. Jerry, obviously you're like alter ego. So when it comes to City, I'll always be positive. The squad is different. If people don't believe it, I can't help them. Big City energy indeed, man.
Yeah, Jerry.
Once again, what does it show you about Pep as well? Because he must have been influential.
Oh my gosh,
he's a genius, isn't he?
Oh yeah,
it's like what have you said in the dressing room?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I would have loved, like, I think me and Kieran were talking in the Slack chat. Yeah, definitely. I would pay to see what he said to them at halftime, because I can only imagine how intense it was.
I mean, literally physically paid a lot of money to watch, because it would have been fascinating, wouldn't it? It would have been like, it's the kind of thing that you rarely get to see at elite level sport, because that would have been wonderful, because I think he was tough. I think he would have been tough, but you know, the whole, remember, it was like, sit down, drink. I think he would have been that level of tough, where it's like, a firm dad, disappointed, but not like trying to get across the frustration, but without being too like casting.
Keeping the belief.
Yeah, keeping the belief, but being like, I bet he would have been the whole like, this isn't us. Who are you right now? You know, that kind of thing. Because that's the attack I would have took with the whole like, this is not you. You're better than this, you know. But at the same time, going like, you have to be better than this. You know, it's like the whole balance between optimism and fear and scaring them. And it's like, this is what makes him so unique, isn't it? This is what makes him so brilliant. And how lucky
we love him.
To have him, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, I cannot stand all the Pep out people. Like, it makes no sense to me. I mean,
they're trolls, aren't they?
Just makes. I mean, if you just look at that product that he's brought here and how many trophies he's won already, I mean, it's just insane. Anybody who says Pep out doesn't understand football. So that's just my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. But yeah, I mean, I love Pep. I'm so happy. I remember the day it was announced that he was coming here. I was literally like running around screaming, like so excited.
He's a superstar, man. He's a superstar, and I feel exactly the same. Scott, I wish I could talk to you for hours, man, but you can see the queue in the room. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to get to everyone tonight, man. But as ever, you're an absolute fucking legend, mate. I love you to bits, load. Thank you so
Cheers.
much. Everyone needs a bit of Scott Denemy energy in their life, man. Genuinely.
Let's go.
Let's go. See you later, man. See you later.
See you,
in a bit. Bye bye. I am Siler. Are you there, man? Are you good? Hello. How you doing, my
Hello.
friend? How are you
Good.
feeling after that roller coaster of emotions?
Happy but nervous for Tuesday. I mean,
You're nervous already.
I'm very happy and I'm even a little optimistic, but it's knockout football, and God, I wanted a third goal so bad because I wouldn't be nervous then. It's just
Yeah, that's same. Actually, yeah.
I'm happy about the team though. They bounced back, and we talked about it after the Dortmund game, with the second leg Dortmund game, which was eerily similar to this game, where the first half was not very fun to watch, and then the second half was just night and day difference.
Yeah. What do you attribute it to, that second half change? Is it simple, or is it go on?
I'm Pep. I assume Pep. Or maybe a player leader. Maybe Dino. Maybe Diaz is raising his voice. I don't know. So something is being said in there, and we are a different team this year. This stuff did not happen before. It just did not.
No.
We had to watch 90 minutes. We had to watch 90 minutes of us kicking it to the opposition, just missing sitters. We all know. We all watched it last year. It's awful. And the year before that, we watched it so many times. But somehow something has changed, and it's so relieving.
I gotta say, it's probably I wouldn't be surprised if Diaz is a big part of that, and also as well, Pep is just he's got through to him for whatever reason, and I do wonder if the world at the moment, is something about the football in the stadiums that like it might help because the City are clinical and controlled. Maybe it's a neutralizer, and then there's loads of factors, I guess. Maybe second season syndrome for Cancelo and Rodri's helping an awful lot, and who knows, whatever it is, man, whatever it is, it's there, it's tangible. Well, it's not literally tangible, but you feel like it is. You can genuinely sense that it feels different. Big love to your dog in the background, by the way. I love a good random animal. What's that? Oh my God! There's a cute dog in the background, Nicola. Oh, she can't hear me.
Oh, he left.
Yeah, scared him off. Either way, obviously, I understand why you're a bit nervous second leg, but I guess it's all about contextuals here, because the first half, what we got at full time compared to what we had at half time, I mean, we have to be happy, right? We have to be happy with that because, I mean, would you have taken 2-1 as well at the start of the tie?
Yeah. Like I said, I am happy. It's just, it's not dead yet. I wish it was dead, obviously. But also something I was really happy to see is that they showed their prone to mistakes themselves. Keylor Navas falling asleep. I couldn't believe that happening. And then Idrissa Gueye, I mean, he was exceptional that first half. He was tearing us apart, and now he's gone. I couldn't even believe it.
It's a massive blow.
Yeah. Gundo falls. I'm like, okay, that's clearly a yellow because it happened so fast. Yeah. And they hadn't shown a replay, and all of a sudden the dude's pulling out a red card. I was like, oh my gosh, that is huge. That is huge for us.
A totally deserved red card as well. I mean, it's questionable. I mean, it was Neymar was driving me fucking mad tonight. You're trying to get KDB sent off, and then he's smiling to KDB as well. What you're doing, you little snake. But that's Neymar, and he's I think we did see one thing I will say about PSG, and I'm not sure if I'm being reactionary here, but we did see how much they are a momentum side, aren't they? They're like a little firework. It sizzles for a little bit, but then it bangs and it disappears pretty quickly because I think that's what happens when you've got a side they've got quality over the pitch, but not in the same way that City would say a quality of the pitch. I think that's what happens when you get sides like that. You get moments of brilliance, but they are erratic, PSG, aren't they? They definitely feel beatable, and we know because they are. But I guess the point I'm making is that they have their own flaws as well. Is there anything you saw that you want to see more of in the second leg?
More Foden. I mean, come on. More Foden. Yeah. I mean, he could have had 2 goals easily tonight. Easily.
Yeah.
So just more him. And I'm gonna say it. God, I don't want to say it, but I don't care. I don't care. We talk about who he plays like and try to compare him to whoever is on our team or whatever. We've said Sané, we've said De Bruyne. That's different players. The player he reminds me of, and I'm not calling him as good as him, but the way he moves with the ball, and he wants to score, and he's not afraid to pass either. Lionel Messi. I hate to say it, but it just reminds me of him. And we've seen it like shades of Messi and Bernardo as well. You know, he gets on the edge of the box and he's moving back and forth with the ball, but he doesn't finish like Foden does. And I know he didn't finish today, but he's just always there. He's always there.
Like I mean, he's a mesmeric talent. I think he'll be frustrated tonight that in fact that he didn't score. You know, because he should have scored. I think he should have scored, particularly the first chance. I think the first chance for a player of his quality, it becomes a big chance simply because he has that much quality in his game. You know, it genuinely does. And he would have been frustrated not to put that in the bottom corner. The one place he didn't need to hit it, it was straight at the keeper, and that's what he did. But I mean, ultimately, it doesn't matter in the end because we did get the victory. And like, that is big, and you got to bear in mind the fact that PSG will be nervous now, and like we forget that, you know, we forget that their confidence changes when ours changes. That's it. We're happy all of a sudden, they're nervous, you know, and they've got to go to the Etihad now, and they've got to score, and twice, because once is not enough. And like, can you really not see us scoring in the Etihad? I think we'll score at the Etihad.
I think we'll score the way we dominated Mbappe, which he is not used to. I assume I haven't watched all their games, but the fact that he was completely shut out, huge confidence builder for us, and potentially a factor mentally for him. And another thing is, I see us scoring at least one. And if we score one, it's going to be a hard game for them. A very hard game.
Before you go, man, just talking to me about Ruben Diaz. How good is Ruben Diaz? And how good was Stones as well? Those two, like the improvement on Stones and Diaz as well.
Yeah, like Stones hasn't had the best few games lately, and he went out there and didn't care. Like that's something I've been
big
really
for Stones, isn't it? For Stones, that's big in particular.
Yes, it is huge for him. How many what last season he got in the team a couple times, made a few shaky decisions, and was just gone. I mean, I always worry about him when he makes a mistake. So that's Stones, and then Diaz. Something I loved from Diaz. I forget who fouled who, but they're going up the pitch near the end of the game. I think Gundo fouled someone. I can't remember, Bernardo maybe, but it got to Neymar. And as soon as it got to Neymar, Diaz was there to just blast Neymar. It was a clean tackle, but I mean, just destroy him. And it's like, that's what we need. Like, we need to be aggressive like that. It was amazing. Also, I want to give Ederson some props too. Like, I love Ederson, love him to death, and he had a good game.
Wonderful, man. Wonderful. Siler, I wish I could chat all night, but once again, there's so many people waiting. You're an absolute legend, mate. Thank you so much for coming on. Go and celebrate. I don't know where again. Where else are you again? Sorry, I can't remember where you are.
Florida.
Florida. What time is it over in Florida?
It is 6.
Oh, it's all right. You got plenty of time. You can go.
Yeah, I'm getting drinks. I'm getting drinks.
Go have a wild one, man. I want to see absolutely get smashed. Yeah. See you later, dude. In a bit. See you later, mate. Bye bye. I'll be coming to Oliver very soon. Lagan saying, people call me mad for saying Stones should start. Who called you mad, man? But either way, no, I thought it was a toss of a coin between Laporte and Stones. I think they both deserved it in their own way, and they both had reasons why not to. But I'm delighted for Stones because I thought Stones tonight proved how strong and how far he's come mentally. Absolutely mad respect for Stones. Andrew as well saying, I think after sending off, they were there for the taking. Stephen could have ended tied tonight. We could have, but you know what? It's all about perspective. And to be honest, for me, that first half, the second half, the score in the end, I'm happy with that. Oliver, mate, I'm coming to you. Hope you're good. Making his debut. How are you doing, my friend? You all right?
I'm great. Yeah. I feel like I've just been through the biggest emotional roller coaster in my life.
Welcome to Man City, man. Welcome to Man City.
Yeah, there's been a lot of those. I thought first half.
Whereabouts?
Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, whereabouts are you? I'd just like to know where everyone is in the world. It's always good to know.
I'm in Denmark, so it's 15:15 midnight. So
we're already. You got an hour on us, yeah.
Yeah.
It's late, but it's worth it. Yeah. It's worth it, isn't it?
Yeah.
But what were you going to say, man? Anyway, sorry.
I think that second half may well be the best we've ever performed in a Champions League game. In terms of pure 45, in terms of the occasion, the opponent, like what it meant to the player, to the guys, like it's unbelievable.
No, Joe, I the context of everything's always so important. And I mean, is there any reason for this City side to have any doubts anymore in this competition? I mean, I know we haven't done it yet and all that kind of stuff, but like we've just got rid of the hoodoo against the like mid-tier Champions League side, so like the Dortmunds and all that kind of stuff. We know we can beat the big sides already because we've beaten Bayern and Real Madrid, and we've beaten Barca. Now we've just beaten PSG. Is there anything left for us to fear in this competition? I know we need to win it still, but you know what I mean by that.
Yeah, I think the Dortmund games meant, you could tell that meant so much to them mentally, that getting past that quarterfinal block. And we call this inevitable, but I do feel that this team thinks now they are invincible, in that they can go all the way. Given because we've seen so many times where we go behind and we just go, nah, there's no way we're going to go away from this with a result. And that's what, twice or 2 times in a row now in the Champions League where we've conceded a goal and then won.
What do you put it down to? That change and that change, because it does feel like that's the one thing that was usually thrown at Man City as a negative, how we would concede, crumble a little bit, but we don't feel the same, and like it feels different now. And what do you put that down to personally?
I don't know. Maybe yes. I don't know. Something has changed in the way this team works. I don't know if it's Pep not overthinking anymore. Because I think that's been the main takeaway I've had from this Champions League campaign, is that he sticks with what works. And he seems to have a lot more confidence in his own defence. Because I think the dreaded Lyon game that we don't mention is, I think it was quite clear when he went to that back five that he didn't trust his defence.
Probably rightfully so as well, actually. At the time, you know, we were poor, weren't we?
And the fact it was only over one game, like, I think he has so much confidence in his defense now that he could just simply say to them, go and do what you do best.
Yeah.
However, my one, if I had to have one negative, it would be this false nine. It can only go so far. And I think we've seen times where we've had so many sitters, and
why can't it? With all due respect, why can it only go so far, mate? Because we're possibly about to be in the Champions League final. We've got to win the Premier League, and we've just won the Carabao Cup with it. So how far can it only go? It's a genuine question, because I want to know, I want to know why, because everyone keeps saying that, and I'm genuinely curious to know the reason.
I think it's just also one of those typical City things where we've had so many games where we've been so close. So I don't know if it's just mentally from the fans that does it, but I do think that we do miss an awful lot, which is that's probably a given considering how many chances we create.
But so do PSG. They miss chances tonight.
Yeah,
what it's worth.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm just being devil's advocate, because I feel like
it is a funny thing. Yeah.
I feel like we hone in on the negative sometimes, and we all do it. Like I'm not saying you're wrong for what it's worth. I'm just kind of saying all I'm seeing is that it's working. I'm
the same thing about if it works, don't fix, don't break it. Just don't mess with it.
Yeah,
and I do think Pep made the right decision in the false nine.
Do you not think, by the way, if we had a striker that he trusted, he'd be playing them? We don't have to like it, but it's true at the moment he doesn't trust Aguero. He clearly doesn't, because Aguero's time's over at Man City. So it's obvious. And Jesus is not in good form. So
I think he obviously went with the best option.
And I think sometimes maybe it's as simple as that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And to be honest, could it be anything more Pep than going all the way to the final with a false nine? You know, that is just Pep, isn't it?
I mean, he won the Champions League with it, so I know it was messy, but he's done it before, so why not do it again?
What's your prediction now for the second leg, man? Like, where's your confidence at? What do you want to see any changes? Are you expected to win? Where are you at?
The only change I would make would be Cancelo for Zinchenko, I think, because he had such a big impact in the game that it was unbelievable. Other than that, I do think we'll score. So and the fact that that Idrissa Gueye is not there, I'm feeling very confident. I was actually quite confident, or not confident, but calm going into this, because before the season started, I didn't expect us to go to the final. I had, for my personal target, I was like a semi-final. I'd be happy with that, and whatever happens then happens. I didn't expect us to win the Champions League this season, but I'd be much more confident going into the second leg now. Yeah.
Definitely, man, definitely.
Yeah.
Oliver, mate, I'm gonna get to someone else if that's all right, because it's just obviously it's late and
cool.
there's loads of people waiting. Yeah. But you're a legend, mate. Thank you so much for coming on, and I can't wait to chat to you again, mate.
Cheers,
See you in a bit. Before I get to Safi, I'm going to have a chat, just answer this question from Laurie. Says, would you rather Haaland or Kane? Personally, Kane, but understand Haaland could be the long-term option. Please get me on stream sometime. Laurie, mate, it's for the members. So if you want to jump on, man, it's the only way I can get back to those people and all that kind of stuff. So patreon.com/Steam Company, or the members, youtube.com/Steam Company /join. But to answer your question, mate, big love to you for the comment, by the way. I really appreciate it. Either way, by the way, with the comment, mate, you could have 3 months of lower tier Patreon there, so you'd be able to get on for cheaper than that if you wanted to come on, by the way. But either way, for me, it's Haaland. He's young, EBRs. Kane is brilliant, and I wouldn't complain if we got him, but just honestly, he's a bit older. There's the ankle injury potentially and all that kind of stuff. It's just Haaland. And also, he's a Man City. He's got a Man City blood in him, so it's got to be Haaland for me. Either way, you're an absolute legend, mate. Thank you so much. Safi, good evening. How are you, my friend?
I'm on top of the moon right now. It's crazy. What we did today, it just shows how far we've come this season, and it just shows the difference in us this year. We can battle, we can fight, we can change just like that. Today was a game of two halves. First half, it was slow, and I think a lot of people were nervous. I think on the field, the fans too, everyone was nervous, but second half I felt there was an adjustment. Pep said something. There had to be an adjustment because the game completely flipped. We were all over them. Mbappe didn't even have a shot on target. When Diaz goes home and he empties his pockets, he's gonna see Mbappe. He literally I didn't see anyone. The only one I saw was Neymar trying to bring the ball up the field for his team, but we were closing them down. We were shutting them down so quick. So I mean, it was just so good.
Do you know what? I think people probably aren't really appreciating just how good they are and what we did to them and how we kept them. That's impressive. It's really, we really need to stress how impressive that is, because this is Neymar and Mahrez. So Neymar and Mbappe. Maybe I'm giving credit to him subconsciously, but this is Mbappe and Neymar. They are, and Di Maria's fucking brilliant as well. People don't really appreciate because they think he's crap because he saw him at United and he struggled. But Di Maria's a brilliant player. He's absolutely fantastic. And I think we don't really give the other side. We were going to struggle at some point in this tie. We were going to struggle at some point. I'm hoping the struggle is now over in this whole tie, but it was going to happen, wasn't it? It was going to happen, man. And is there any shame in conceding to PSG at all?
No, in this stage of a competition like the Champions League, this is going to happen. The only delusion of people will think we're going to have the ball, 100% of the ball, we're going to win 4-0. That can't happen because you're going up some of the best players in the world, and they had a quick start. They have an amazing manager, and they were full of confidence. I mean, they were just running all over us, and it was so hard for us to keep up with them in that first half. So there's no shame, but we should be so proud of our team for it coming back, because that is
damn right, man.
That is
damn right. How were you feeling before the game? Were you confident? Did you think Pep got the lineup right? I mean, it's easy to say that retrospectively, but did you feel confident when you saw the lineup? What were you nervous about the game and all that kind of stuff? Where were you at before the game?
I was just so scared. I can't even explain. I can't even explain it. Every time before a big Champions League game, I've been scared for the past, I don't know how many years now, like 6 years, because Champions League is just so it's special. It really is. It's the biggest games for your club. This is where you feel the most passion, kind of. So I mean, I was so scared, and I saw the lineup. It was of course probably our strongest team. I mean, there was that debate between Stones or Laporte, but to be honest, it didn't really matter. They both had reasons to play and reasons not to play. So it didn't really matter at the end. But yeah, Cancelo had a weird game. I think in the second half, at the start of the second half, Cancelo played much better, but then obviously he had the yellow card and all that. So I mean, Zinchenko came and then he changed the game.
Was there anyone in particularly, like, other than Zinchenko, like, anyone who stood out for you in particular in the second half? Because there was plenty of players who definitely, they were just different, unrecognisable to the first half. Who stood out for you, man?
For me, Ruben Diaz was just on another level. He showed he's 23, and this guy, he's showing that his quality is at the top. Like, he's one of the best defenders in the world right now. Like, on form right now, he is just unplayable.
Yeah, he's incredible, isn't
he was, and he's just leading that back line the whole time. And also Gundogan, because let me tell you, this guy, they almost got annoyed of Gundogan because he just picked up the ball and he was just knitting everything together. Gundogan, for me, I think he got underappreciated today. Today he was knitting everything together. It was perfect. He was just making everything tick.
I think in the first half, pretty much, that's what I said on the watch along. I said, like, in the first half, but you can't really judge it that first half too much because that wasn't really City, was it? It was just like, it was all in the head, you know, because you were making, like, people like Gundogan and Cancelo and everyone were making 4-yard passes badly. And when you see something that bad, it's like, well, that's obviously not City. So that's why I wasn't panicking yet, because I knew at some point we would become City again, you know, because City don't make that level of nonsense, you know, they don't make bad passes like that, do they, fundamentally? And that's why I always felt like we would start to see it. And then, as you said, Gundogan started to find his rhythm a little bit. And then everyone started to find theirs. And I actually, am I exaggerating here, Safi? Or is there still another level for this City side? Because I don't think, as good as we were, I don't think we're anywhere near our best today. I think we could be much better. Even the second half, I think we could be better.
Yeah, I think there's always a level to go up, because I feel, right, like, Guardiola will always tell the players that they can improve, and the players will believe in themselves that they can improve. So at that point, then definitely. They're always gonna feel they can improve, and they can always improve, and it's just, I mean, they can only get better. So
that's a terrifying thing, man. What's your prediction for the second leg?
I'm going 2-1 again, I think, or maybe I'm going 2-1 again. I think 2-1 is just, I mean, that seems to be our lucky score.
It's our score now. Yeah.
It seems to be our lucky score this year.
But I like that score for a reason, because it shows essentially we have some adversity in the game and then we still react to it anyway, you know, like, because there's no way, like, if you concede a goal and at some point in the game there's going to be doubts, but yet we still find a way to win these games, and that means an awful lot to me, man. Safi, mate, I'm going to get on someone else just because there's so many people. I'm fucking, of course, but either way, you're a legend, mate.
I just wanted to say my birthday was 2 days ago, and my birthday wish was for us to win the Champions League this year.
So what day was your birthday? 26th?
26th, yeah.
Oh, Nicholas was the 25th, so you were just a day.
Oh, wow,
and one of our good friends as well was on the 26th. Happy birthday, man! Happy birthday.
Thanks,
dare I ask how old you were?
Just turned 15 now.
Oh, fucking hell, you're 15. Jesus. How are you more calm? And this guy's 15, Safi's 15, ridiculous. I'll turn on to Nicola over there. How are you more calm than most, like, adults watching football, man? Unbelievable, mature. I feel like I was the same at 15, by the way, so I really appreciate that. Anyway, mate, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Thanks for having me.
Always, it's a pleasure, mate. It's a pleasure. I'll catch you in a bit, okay? Catch you in a bit. See you later, dude.
See you.
Bye-bye. And before I get to Sean, I don't know if he's still cooking his salmon or not, but either way, before I get to Sean in a bit, I want to say thank you to a couple of members. Laurie, you absolute legend. You took the plunge. And Laurie, you're an absolute hero, man. If someone said, how do you become a member? It's literally on the screen. You'll see it below me. It's youtube.com/esteemed company if you want to jump in. There's so many people, by the way, trying to get involved for chat that I'm sorry if you can't get in. It's just I'm trying to give everyone a crack of the whip, obviously, because it's the least I can do for these guys. And also, I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce that without sounding like I'm doing a bad cat impression. I'm so sorry. But it just says Lee Meow. I'm sorry, I'm really bad with names, but Lee Meow, thank you so much, Lee. Absolute legend. Hopefully I'll be chatting to you, both you and Laurie, very, very soon. And of course, there's a super chat here somewhere. Where's it gone? We got Avnips, who says, crazy to think I have more confidence in City's defence and our ability to get multiple goals in this Champions League year with Laporte on the bench as well. Well, I get that. I get that, because we're not score loads of goals, but we keep scoring at least 2, and that keeps being enough. So maybe we're overthinking it a little bit, but yeah, you're right. Our defense has changed, and it does feel confident. It does feel different, mate. So absolutely spot on. Loving the Johnny Bravo avatar as well. Mark saying Mbappe failed to have his shot for the first time ever. It's in Champions League, isn't it? I think, or is it just overall? But either way, that's a crazy stat, man. A crazy stat, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And also. Ayush Shukla, thank you so much. Welcome to the club. Big love. Hopefully I'll be chatting to you soon as well. Yeah, you know what? So much over his age, fair play. Safi, 15, man, ridiculous. And he hasn't seen the dark old days. Maybe that's it, indeed. But Safi's an out legend, and I was not that mature at 15. Either way, Sean, I hope you're there, and I hope you're ready. Oh, hello, my friend. How are you doing? Where's your head at after all that?
I think it's pretty much the same place it was. I mean, I'm super excited that it went the way it was, but I was super confident going into it. But yeah, I'm just happy it fell our way. I mean, it's PSG, and you have Kylian Mbappe and Neymar, and out of nowhere, center back scores off a corner. That doesn't feel too good. You kind of feel like there's definitely more to come. But I mean, Kylian Mbappe doesn't have a shot on goal. And City comes back again from another deficit, which, I mean, tell us that a year ago that's going on. We wouldn't believe you. That's insane.
Well, we've been chatting about this throughout the video now, but I want to know, what do you think? Why has that changed? Why has it? Because I want to know if anyone's got any reasons. Is it a combination of factors, or is there one main one? What do you reckon?
I think just the overall mentality, and I think we're a completely different team, because I started laughing about it because I was thinking about the lineup that we played with today, and then I went back and I looked at the lineup that we played in the game that we don't like to talk about, the Lyon one.
Never happened. Never happened.
And we got Dinosaur Dino playing center back with Eric Garcia, and then
Dinosaur Dino.
And I like both of those people, but compared to what we went out with today, I mean, it's just the mentality monster of Ruben Diaz compared with everybody else. I mean, it's insane. I mean, it's a completely different team, honestly. I mean, it's just a few pieces that just kind of changed the whole vibe of it. It's just completely different.
It is, isn't it? It is, and I do wonder if it's because here's the thing, maybe I'm overthinking it. I wonder how much this is because it's a new bunch of players as well. Because you think about it, you know, some of these players have gone now. I mean, Silva's gone, Company's gone. I know which is awful and painful, but even Aguero's gone to an extent right now, if we're being totally honest. And like, I do wonder if it's very much like all these players are just different players, and that could be a factor, couldn't it? The fact that we're just, you know, these players haven't got anything on their shoulders anymore. Diaz doesn't give a shit about what happened to Vincent Company, does he? You know, in the nicest way possible. He's not worried about, and Foden's not scared. Maybe hasn't got it hanging over him the way that Silva is, because he's young, and when you're young, you feel like you can take on the world, and maybe it's just a new side, man. Is it? Is that a factor? Do you reckon?
I think it very well could be, and I think those two people that you just mentioned, I think they're playing for their own statues right now. I think Silva already had his locked up, and you know, Company obviously he had his and whatnot. But I mean, I'm looking at the lineup right now that played in that game. Like Sterling was in there, Jesus was in there, Fernandinho, Garcia, Laporte, like right there, you have like 6 players that were not on the field today, and it's like
change.
Like we went down 1-0, and it was like, all right, let's get back out there and figure it out. And in my opinion, we didn't start really going until like the 50th minute, and after that, it was just like nonstop, and you felt like something was coming. And oddly enough, it wasn't the way that I thought it was going to come. I thought we'd actually get some clean goals, but I mean, KDB kind of sneaks one in, really good ball in, and got a little bit lucky. And then, I mean, Mars' free kick, that was amazing. That was beautiful.
It was absolutely beautiful. I mean, the thing is as well, like at the moment we're not creating tons and tons of chances. We're just it feels like eventually they just cave due to relentless pressure, if that makes sense. Even if we don't create loads of chances, we're just there. And it's something about being present, you know, in their third. Eventually, there will be a mistake or there will be a moment, because we do have too much individual brilliance. Like, you know, once again, like KDB's goal was jammy, but it was because it was an incredible cross. You know, like so it's one of those things where there's still talent attached to that, if that makes sense. So
Absolutely.
it's like you can turn around and say it's like jammy, but you know, like the fact that he gets that much whip on it and does a cross that brilliant is the reason it goes in the first place. So like we can play it down, but like, you know, most people don't make that cross because they're not KDB. So that's the point, I guess, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
but I know it's still jammy, but like that's worth a note as well. I personally thought KDB was a bit quiet tonight as well, if I'm being honest. Like, I expect and hope for more in the second leg. Am I being a bit harsh there, or is that fair?
I think it is fair, and I think a lot of people have this impression that PSG is just Mbappe and Neymar, but I think they showed a lot more than that. I think
Yeah.
they're a high level team all the way through, and I mean, you're not going to lose a whole half like we did, like that first half. Like that was all PSG. You're not going to do that with just two people who, again, they weren't on the
Yeah.
score sheet tonight. That's a whole team that was playing really good ball. And I mean, there's still another 90 minutes in this game. I really do hope that we can come out when we're at the Etihad and just show them that we have like that level where we can just take a whole game over and put some balls in the back of the net in a more natural way. I mean, I think there's definitely going to be some more goals in that second leg. I'm definitely interested to see what team we go with against, what is it, Palace? I think that's going to be a lot of young guys.
What do you think we should go?
I posted something pretty funny about it. I think I said because
I love how you're like, my joke was amazing.
Oh yeah, well,
I admire that confidence. Yeah,
there's some truth to it. I mean, like Palmer, Delap, Ferran Torres, Doyle, Ake, Stefan, and then we could throw Dino out there and just corral all the youngsters. Maybe throw in Aguero, Jesus, like whichever one you can do.
I would fucking love it. I would love it, man. I would love it. I would genuinely. I'm not just saying that. I would actually love it because, I mean, he won't do it because we haven't won the league yet. We know Guardiola won't do that, but they've won the Premier League 2 now. They've won the Premier League 2, so maybe we will do. Kieran's just said this, by the way. I don't know what he's on about there, but like you can see that comment. Steve, please let Sean do the wave. What's the wave?
That wave?
I don't know. I have no idea what he's referring to. Like I feel like
I think he's talking about when we finish up. I guess like do like the.
Oh, okay. Yeah, who knows, man? Kieran's happy. That's what matters. If Kieran's just talking about waving, it means the night's gone pretty well. Is what I will say. It means things looking pretty good. Are you confident for the second leg? I mean, I guess we have to be, but how confident are you? I guess.
I mean, you get 2 away goals in Paris, you have to be confident. I mean, and I always am. Like, I was definitely nervous about the game, but I thought they were going to win, just not the way that we did win.
That'll do that.
I think there's no reason not to be.
On that note, Sean, thank you so much for coming on, man. It's been a pleasure. Apparently, it was the awkward goodbye wave. I don't know what that was. Was it? It's just a wave. Either way, I'll take it. Catch you in a minute, man. Thank you so much for coming on. See you later, dude. Bye-bye. A couple more people to get to before I get to Pete. No, the Pete's up next. I think there's a couple of comments. Let me free. DT, not the DT, but become a member. DT, thank you so much. We've got our own DT on a Man City fan channel. Wonderful stuff. That could go well. DT, thank you so much for becoming a member. Big love to DT. And I think that was everything. I think I've got to all the comments. Pete, I'm coming to you, mate. Pete Shepherd, welcome to the FanView Live. How are you doing, my friend? Are you okay?
Oh, man, what a great day to be alive, Steve. What a great day to be alive.
Exactly.
A tremendous win and a tremendous sigh of relief for all of us, I think, with those 2 away goals.
Exactly. And I'm loving the energy. I'm loving the energy because I think we can become too insular sometimes, and we can look inwards a bit too much. And sometimes you just got to enjoy a win, haven't you? You just got to enjoy a win for what it is. Because football, one thing social media doesn't let you do anymore is just live in the moment. It doesn't let you. It tries to stop you doing it because you got to look forward to the next game. And why not just fucking enjoy this night? Like, what is wrong with that? Like, what is wrong with that?
Exactly. Tuesday is going to be Tuesday regardless of what happens. Tonight is tonight, and that was brilliant. That was a brilliant result for us.
Yeah, and Aaron agrees. Aaron thinks you're a legend, so either way, Aaron's absolutely spot on. Aaron said, Pete, you're a legend. But I agree, man. How big was this result? It was a brilliant result, but how big was it, mentally for the players? What do you think Pep will be saying in the dressing room,
So my biggest thing is, some of the people that have come on already have already talked about, some of the things that maybe changed the course of the game. And, Zinni was mentioned multiple times. And, my biggest thing is it wasn't just the Zinni substitution. It was the fact that when he got the ball, he connected with KDB in the midfield. Cancelo was going backwards a lot and not looking to press it forward in that first half and even the start of the second half. But Zinni just was really connecting with KDB, and we all know KDB, like, he's basically the quarterback of our team. So when good things happen when he gets the ball and is able to move forward with it, look to pass to Foden and Gundogan and open up the defense a little bit. And I thought that was a huge factor. And then the other thing I think was a huge thing that Pep probably did at halftime, Steve. I'm from Maryland in the U.S. I'm a big basketball guy. Have been my whole life. Coached it. Maryland is right near Washington, D.C. It's a state right next to Washington, D.C. Yeah. So anyway, I used to play college basketball. I coached high school basketball. So like basketball has been a big part of my life as well. And in basketball, one of the things you do defensively is you play what's called help side defense. So if you're pressing towards the ball side, the defenders on the weak side of the floor move to the middle. And in the first half, when we were pressing, the guys pressing were doing a great job, but we weren't rotating to the middle. So they kept having that outlet pass to the middle. And I think Pep made a big change at halftime where we shored up some of those, middle spaces, and they weren't able to break on us through the press. And I think that made a huge difference in terms of how we moved forward on them.
No, that's classic Pep as well, because Pep, I'm going to trust you on Alisson because I don't know anything about basketball at all, but Pep does, he famously makes changes. I remember the game against Liverpool this season where he was noticing an awful lot of space down a certain side, and he's always doing these little subtle tweaks that essentially, the best thing about these changes at half-time is that they really do nullify a team, because when somebody's working for you, human nature is that you want to carry on doing the thing that works for you, and you will subconsciously carry on trying to do the thing. And if you've already solved the problem, which obviously we did at half-time, like we did against Liverpool at half-time as well, that then presents another problem for the team, because they will naturally try it for 20-25 minutes, and at that point desperation kicks in because it's not working. So they haven't then got time to go in at half-time and change their game plan because the game's already flowing, so it's so much easier to make big changes to affect a game at half-time than it is mid-game, isn't it? So I think you're right. I think it's just obviously we made a change and they didn't really know how to counter, and we literally nullified that threat, and that was massive. And that is why Guardiola's worth the big bucks, isn't he, man? Because he is an incredible manager. Matthew as well said, what the hell did Pep say to the boys at halftime? It was probably a combination of tactical changes like that. And what do you think he said mentally? Because obviously, what tact do you reckon he took with him at halftime? So I think mentally he probably didn't get angry. I would think he would. I think he probably firm, just said angry. Firm, but I think it was probably a mindset of, we've got this, we're in it. We gave up a set piece. We know that when we made a mistake there, like on that set piece goal on the replay here, it looked like Gundogan tried to hand him off to somebody, but nobody picked him up. So I'm thinking that, Pep just said, stick with what we're doing and it's going to work. And, again, I think it did. They believed in the system. We didn't change anything drastic. We didn't bring on a striker. We just kept playing the same way we've been playing for, the past 35 games, and it worked. And that's empowering, isn't it, really? There's a way that when you do something and it, that it works and that it can be. I mean, I asked someone else earlier, it's like, is there a reason to be fearful anymore? And I mean that with sincerity. Of course, there's always reasons to be fearful. But broadly speaking, I mean, in life, there are a series of questions, a series of problems that you have to overcome to achieve something. And you usually can write them down and you can tick them off. And there's certain mental barriers that you need to break through. And there's obviously going to be the final hurdle, but in terms of individual quality, is there any more questions left for this team? Is there any more?
I mean, if you just look at the form and you look at the past, 35, 40 games, no. I mean, we're doing something that no one's been able to figure out on a consistent basis, and we have the players who believe in the system. I mean, let's harken back to that, to the Foden goal when he turns around and eye locks with Pep and runs all the way across the pitch. That just shows you, there's the connection between the manager and the players right now that I don't think we've had for the last couple of seasons.
I'm with you on this. I'm with you on that entirely. I do think Pep's starting to find a new side. I was chatting. I mentioned it. I've just forgotten who was on before, and I'm so tired. I've forgotten already. But who was chatting to before? I've just forgotten. I'm tired. But either way, I said that it feels like this. It was Sean. I do feel like this side is a different side now. You know, we are moved on from some of those legends, and that is terrible, but it can, I guess, empower the next generation, can't it? It can give them their own identity. It can make them believe in themselves. And I think you can see that. I think you can see it when you start to think about it. It's like, it's obviously there, actually, you know, because you're not in thrall to anyone, are you? Because they're all relatively level playing field.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things where, you know, Pep's system takes a couple of seasons to really ingrain itself. I mean, I think the biggest person who's benefited from this is Pep sticking with Mahrez. I mean, we all had complaints about Mahrez when he first got into Pep's system, where he wouldn't hustle and he wouldn't press and he wouldn't play the way Pep wanted him to play. And he got taken out, and I'm sure he got talked to. And then, I mean, look at him this season. He's been a completely different player. I mean, he's always had the skill, he's always had the ability, but now he has the desire and the will to go with it. And I think it's just because he's bought in, and he's got, you know, he's got the confidence of his teammates, he's got the confidence of his manager, and he doesn't want to let anybody down. And he knows if he doesn't hustle, he'll let people down.
And it's one of those things as well, once again, like, imagine how, I use the word empowering a couple of times now, but I do believe this is the thing, because we have to remember these are all highly competitive athletes. They're friends, don't get me wrong, but they want to succeed more than their friends because they want to, because why wouldn't you? And imagine imagine you're Mahrez all of a sudden, and you are keeping Sterling out the side, who's been a golden boy for ages. That also has to be huge, doesn't it? It has to be huge for the mentality of the players. And if you're in this team right now, you know you're in this team because you deserve to be. And that stuff does matter. It matters to people like Phil Foden as well. It matters to people like Mahrez as well. Pete, before I make way for Kieran, how are you feeling about the second leg now, man? What's your prediction?
I mean, Steven, I'm extremely confident going into the second leg now. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we get them 2-0. I think we've broken their spirit today a little bit.
I love it. No, I agree. Obviously, the PSG, and they've got quality, so they won't feel like it's over. But there was a couple of looks on their faces which felt telling to me, where there was frustration there. And when frustration kicks in, yeah, time to heal it, and I'm sure they'll win at the weekend or whatever.
Steve, you're a desperate team if you have to try to get KDB thrown out of the game on that foul. You are. I mean, if that's your only thing, we've got to get this guy out because we can't stop him. Yeah, their spirits have been broken a little bit.
Neymar gonna Neymar though, eh? What a dick, man! Fucking hell! Like,
he is.
Like, he's one of those things where he's not played against us for a long time, so it's one of those things where you don't really appreciate it until you watch him again. You're like, wow, it really is as much as a knob as I remember. Like, he's just unbelievably talented. But then also, by the way, has anyone seen Mbappe? Missing persons report, like in Paris.
Yeah, no doubt.
He was quiet, wasn't he? He was very quiet.
He absolutely was, man. I think we had the right game plan in place, and we neutralized his ability big time. Because again, harking back what I said about changing, changing the thing at halftime. You noticed all they did in the second half was just try to go over the top because they weren't penetrating through the middle anymore. And again, they just became desperate and became a long ball situation. You're never going to beat us playing long balls.
And that's what happens, we were saying before. So when your tactic doesn't work out, they kept trying the tactic, and obviously we nullified it. 20 minutes later, what does every team do when they run out of ideas? Long ball. Everyone, even City revert to it. Crosses, long balls. You go direct because you go desperate. And once you get to that point, you've won. You've won mentally, haven't you? You've got them right where you want them, in the palm of.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Pete, it's been a pleasure, mate. Absolute pleasure.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me on, Steve.
Yeah, you're a legend, mate. Thank you so much.
Cheers, mate. Cheers.
In a bit, dude. I just want to say thank you, by the way, to Nicola. Nicola's actually legend. She's like, "Are you okay, by the way? You're looking over sad." I'm just looking over you in a lovingly appreciative way. No, I'm just smiling at that, as in Nicola thought I was sad. I was just smiling at her in a loving, like, what a fiance. She's made me a brew once again in the slop mug. Guys, we're going to keep going. Because we've got so many people waiting. I don't know how I'm going to get through everyone. But Kieran's here. Kieran.
I am here. Hello.
How are you, Kieran?
I'm all right. I'm not bad. Much better after the game than before it. It's got to be said.
Were you nervous, mate? Were you nervous?
Apprehensive is the word I'd use. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's got
good
exactly the same meaning. It just sounds slightly better. So it was
More
definitely
letters.
more
That's all
letters.
that matters, you know.
More letters.
Yeah.
Therefore, I am cleverer.
Done English good. What shirt are you wearing, by the way? It looks fun. Is it Cameroon or something?
It is Cameroon.
What?
Good,
Yeah, I
good
recognise the
spot.
colours. I recognise the colours of the flag. I know my flags. But either way, it's a beautiful shirt. But yeah, not wearing a City shirt as well. Go for the hipster points. I like it.
Thank you.
That was big. That was a good performance. What was your take on that game? What stood out for you? Because we talked about an awful lot of things over this past hour. Anything particular you want to add that no one's mentioned yet? Or anything stood out for you in particular that you need to double down on that other people have said? What stood out for you tonight?
I don't think I've got anything new to add. I mean, you've been going for an hour. If you haven't covered something by now, it's mental. Double downing. I mean, just talk about Diaz and Stones more. They were beautiful all game.
We haven't talked
Diaz
about
was
enough, actually.
huge. I don't think you have. I think you've done a terrible job as host.
Sounds about right.
No, Diaz and Stones were fantastic today. Obviously, Stones coming in with that block as well, which stopped them, stopped one of their goals, and I think that was big for him in a personal sense. I think he somewhat needed that, especially with the last few weeks with getting the red card after Leeds and things. I don't think he's felt great, but he needed that. And Diaz just is a monster. He's absolutely mental, and I don't get how he does it all the time.
No, he is mental. You're right. I love this comment by Jerry. Kieran Legend, Hagrid younger, more handsome brother. I absolutely love it.
You're a wizard, Jerry.
You're a wizard. You're a wizard, Kieran. You're a wizard, Jerry. That works better. But he's a monster. And it's easy to turn around and go, he's the difference, because it's never as simple as that. We know there's a myriad of factors, but one player can be the spark. They can be the spark, and we don't really use. Naturally in football, we don't look at defenders as the catalyst because they're defenders and they're boring, and all that kind of stuff. But we look at forwards or magical players like David Silva or Yaya or whatever. But Diaz could be that guy. He could be. I mean, the one thing for me about Diaz as well is like Vincent Kompany was a legend, but I remember Michael Richards saying that Vincent Kompany felt like a head teacher. Like he was like, he'd come into the dressing room and they'd all be like, oh, like he would feel like a senior statesman in the way that a manager would. And I think I can't imagine Diaz is like that because he's 23, like he's new at the team as well. So he can't have that, everyone goes hush hush when he walks into the dressing room factor. And maybe his leadership style as one of the lads, so to speak, being their age and being such visible friends with John Stones, for example, maybe that's important, because you can't underestimate the shifting of chemistry in a squad, can't you? Maybe that could be helping because you I don't know about you, but like your life works better, isn't it, when you're friends with someone? Like I'm sure they all got on with Vinny, but in a very different kind of way, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Vincent Kompany was very much a dad of the squad. He very much was. He was there for everyone, and very much put himself in that role of, I'm here to guide you guys, and I'm here to take any of your shit. If you've got a problem and you want me to sort it out, I'll sort it out for you. That was very much the impression I got from Vincent Kompany over the years he spent with us. I think as well, you got to look at the changing dynamics of football as a whole. Football is growing to be more of a young man's game, even more so than it probably already was. So you're going to see leaders popping up at the younger ages, like Diaz at 23 and things, and that with it brings us different social dynamic. Having an elder statesman like Kompany promotes that head teacher, dad style leadership. Whereas I think now the leadership needs to come from a core group and maybe from a group of players. And Diaz, while maybe not necessarily being the only part of that, he's definitely he's that keystone in the middle of a bridge. He is the one that suddenly there were two discordant parts of our club at the beginning of this season, which was the defense feeling a bit ropey and the offense feeling a bit ropey. And I feel like Diaz coming in has really sort of cemented that and has been an innumerable improvement to the squad.
I mean, I think it's probably fair to say that you have to give the player credit himself, like Stones. You have to give him credit. Of course, you have to.
Oh, absolutely.
But, I mean, but he has a huge impact on Stones, surely. I mean, I'm about to sneeze, so I'm going to let you carry on answer that question. You feel like you're about to sneeze, you're like, I can't
While Steven sneezes.
No, it's fine. It's actually gone. But I was about to say, basically, like, you can physically see the impact on Stones with Diaz. I mean, like, you can see it on his face when he's alongside him. You can see that comradeship almost, and that shit matters. And I never got that impression with people like, not that Vinny wasn't brilliant, but I never got that impression with, he's never going to be John Stones' best mate because, like, they're just different.
No, because he was his dad.
Like, exactly, yeah. Like as much as like that, and that matters though. That matters. Like you do need people like that. I Sam said here, I think you referred to obviously the fact that company eyes of Aguero gone allows people to step up. Aguero kind of has gone from the team, let's be honest, and it does allow new bonds to form, and it does allow new like cliques in the dressing room to happen. But that's not always a bad thing because it does empower people. And as Mark says, it's important evolution that we have 4 or 5 team captains, and I do wonder. I mean, like if those people go, they go and they leave loads of brilliance, but loads of brilliance goes, but that baggage goes, and there was baggage there, that expectation, and we maybe underestimate that. And also, by the way, I want to mention Rodri because Sean said Rodri was immense today. First half started slowly, but second half he was brilliant. He was everywhere, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Another good example, by the way, of the young leadership.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Rodri was getting a lot of attention while he was being signed as well, wasn't he? Because he's your atypical footballer. He's almost that N'Golo Kante type, isn't he? Because N'Golo Kante famously still drives around in his little Mini Cooper. He's not going around with his big showy off Range Rovers and Mercedes and all these. And Rodri was similar, wasn't he? Still at university and things while he was playing for. I can't remember where we even got him from now. It was Benfica, wasn't it? Something around there. Anyway, he was still at university and doing things like that, wasn't he? While he was still playing for them, and he still always had that backup plan.
Oh, Atletico, sorry.
Atletico, thank you.
Yeah.
It was. I think it's a very different type of player. I think KDB really has got the biggest job now of making the bridge, because KDB has played with Aguero and company and Silva and Yaya, and now he's playing with the new leaders of the club, Diaz and Rodri, and he will always obviously be a leader there, but he now has to fit into a new social dynamic which is moving through.
Sorry, my camera went flat there, but that's how long I've been streaming for tonight. One of my cameras just went flat during the video, but I've got my backup ready to go, like the ultimate professional there. But you're right. I mean, there is. It does feel like there's a changing of the guard, doesn't it? I mean, looking forward now to the second leg. Where are you at with that one? How are you feeling, man? Are you looking forward to it? Is it like? Is this? How big is this buffer now? Because obviously we know it's literally just one goal, but is this? Do you think PSG will be really panicking or feel like, oh, we're still in this or whatever, or how confident are you now with this lead?
I don't know. I'm confident in the fact that it's an away goal, and that means a lot more than a home goal. Because if it was 2-1 at home, we'd be going into the second leg feeling a lot more nervous. But I think now that we're going home with the away lead, that's obviously a boost to confidence. I think 2-1 is a small enough lead that PSG will still feel confident, but I can't help but think Poch might overthink it, as he has done at Spurs over time. But hopefully again, with Spurs during the, we look at Ajax a few years ago, we look at when they played us in the same year. They managed to bring it back, and Poch was a part of that.
Indeed. Kieran, thank you so much. Do you want to plug the channel still? Or?
I do, absolutely. Yes, yeah. City Daily, still making videos.
Go and follow Kieran. Joe, let me put a link once again in the comments, because I know 800 people are watching it right now, which is a whole lot of
thank
people.
You, mate. To be honest, I've got to thank you a lot, because you've got me from about 40 to 50 followers up to, I'm just scratching 80 now. So thank you so much for sharing and everything on here.
Well, mate, you literally thank you for supporting the channel. Honestly, it means a lot. I know I've been doing this for a long time, but still, it literally means an awful lot when anyone supports this channel. I put a link in the comment. Everyone go and hit the subscribe button now. You can see it literally in the comments right now. Go and show a top bit of love there. You can see my comment right now in the chat. Go and click that and subscribe. Let's get him to 100. He needs 21 more. Let's get him to 100.
So close.
Yeah, so close. Why can't we do it right now? So everyone, there's literally 792 people watching. Go and click on that channel. 86 is that now already. There we go. I'm going to keep pressing until we get to 100.
Can I say that I've sent you a message on? I've sent you a message on as well. I sent you a message on
Oh,
Slack,
mate.
just so you know.
Wonderful. Oh, thank you. So, do you know what? When I went on holiday, I turned notifications off because I didn't want to get my phone buzzing away.
No, I know I didn't. I purposely didn't send it while you were on holiday. Oh yeah! I should be on my own channel to celebrate 100, but thank you so much. It means the world.
Go and do it right now. Go and do it after that. No one's going to come over right now, but afterwards they will do.
No, I'm going to steal all of your audience right now, Stephen.
Right, catch you in a bit, man. Well, let me refresh you one more time because it's quite fun to watch. 113, fucking lovely shit. I look amazing.
Fucking hell.
Have a good night, mate. See you later, dude.
And you, Stephen. Thank you so much.
Bye bye. I am bloody knackered. I'm going to try and get through everyone for a couple of minutes each, just because it's like I'm just tired. I'll be honest. I'm just very tired. For now, I'm going to get through to hello, my friend, the Algerian Prince. What a name, a fitting name. How are you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah.
Talk to me about Mahrez.
Bro, nothing. It's not a lot to say about him, man. People discount him because he doesn't do enough in terms of stats, etc. He's not a type of player that thrives in stats, but you can see with the eye test, he's just a phenomenal player. On the ball, he's such a good player, man. What a player that we have on our hands right now. What a player, man. And
he's I said in my preview, it's like it was everyone was talking about Mbappe and Mbappe versus Foden and De Bruyne.
He was defensively good. I'm surprised because usually Mahrez doesn't really do well defensively, but today he was on point defensively. He was tracking back. He was going forward. Man, today was absolutely phenomenal for the first minute. But for me, right, let's talk about the game now. As a whole, first half, we were abysmal. But to be fair to PSG, they were absolutely great. Their passing was very good. Everything about them was very good about them in the first half. And then behold, second half happened. Don't know what Pep said to them. Probably said, "Everyone sit down, nobody talk." And then it came out. Then everyone just came out, and the rest. 2 goals in the bag, 2-way goals, make us favourites for the second leg of this time.
Did you be honest? Because I know everyone had their different moods. How were you feeling at half time? Because obviously it was
I was angry, man. I was so disappointed. Considering how badly we were playing, man. We couldn't even control the ball for 2 minutes. Like we were doing long balls that kept going out of play. We couldn't keep a consistent tempo for at least 5 minutes, and PSG always managed to get the ball back. I was very upset. I don't know about you though.
I was disappointed, of course. I mean, personally, I said on the watch along, that wasn't City in the first half, so I knew at some point we were going to turn up. I didn't know it'd be in the second leg or in that half. I felt we'd be better because I think Pep would fix some of the problems because the problems were so visible that they had to change. We weren't going to carry on being that sloppy because the things that were bugging me in the first half were just basic stuff, like just 4-yard passes going straight to a PSG.
Yeah,
that wasn't.
We were
everyone's like, "Oh, PSG were brilliant." No, they weren't. They were good, but we were just bad as well. That was the thing that was bugging me.
I was saying, look, for me, I think PSG were very good, in my opinion, though. But we were abysmal, actually abysmal in that first half.
I agree.
And then the rest of the second half. I'm very happy, man. That on that second half performance, but for me, it's really important that we have to start from minute 1, doing really well in both halves because you can't always rely on second halves and the other team to drop off, etc. I think you have to be consistent throughout the whole match. I know it's difficult. I know it's a lot to ask at the minute. But I'm happy today, man. I'm happy.
Why not as well? We sat into Pete earlier and they said I think we can go so instantly, but sometimes as fans we just need to make sure we enjoy these moments because they are fucking huge, man. It is big and after
especially as City fans, man. especially this season, we've been so unlucky in these type of ties, man. Into Champions League, you remember like a few years ago, brings me PTSD. But hey, let's bring it up. That Raheem Sterling offside goal that could have gotten us to the semis. Leon, remember that match? Oh my days! But here we are.
You did not have to mention that, man. You did not have to mention that match. It was an absolute nightmare. And to be honest, it's been the only thing for me is like it's just a shame it's now. Given the state of the world and that kind of stuff. Because obviously, but at the same time, I did a thing today for Premier League TV. And I said during it, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised actually if this is the year we'd get there, because there's something about City getting to a final finally when there's fucking no fans.
Finally.
If we got there, it feels so typical like that. But then I guess that's you take what you can get, and maybe it could be better after that if we get there. But either way, we get there, and I'll be very happy, and we'll all be very, very happy. And what's your prediction for the second leg, man? What are you expecting? Do you want to see any changes?
For me, right? So for me. What game do you have next? I completely forgot.
Palace on Saturday.
Palace. I don't think we really need a strong side against Palace, man. I don't think we really need a strong side. We're just a good enough side to beat them, I would say. Not a few changes to keep our main players rested for the next time, man. So we don't have any injuries, etc. Because it's vital. We have all our main players fit for the next time, man.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Man.
Yeah. Can I show my channel, bro?
Of course you can. Go for it. Yeah.
I'm 20 away from 100 subs. My name my name is Epic Nin on YouTube. So
as well now.
Yeah, what's it called? Once I hit 100 subs, my friend is gonna egg me. So,
well, there's the reason, man. Just to watch the Algerian prince. I think Nin getting egged. There you go. I'll put a link in the comments. Well, go 20 more just to watch this fine fellow get egged. What more could you possibly ask for?
Oh my days, Stephen! Why did you have to do this?
You want it. You want it. I know you do. Mate, I'm getting through everyone a little bit quickly now, just because I'm tired.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it, man, for the shout,
let's see if anyone's clicked. I want to make sure people go and give it a subscribe as well.
Oh yeah,
82 is already going up a little bit. Let's see if we can get there, guys. Let's see if we can get support a blue. We've got to support each other in this community, man. 83, it's going up and up and up and up. 84, it's going up. You got to get there. 85.
Oh god,
I love it, man. City Army, let's do that thing. Indeed, let's get behind and support a fellow.
89. Oh my days.
Yeah, there we go, man. You're just 10 away now, basically. Let's have a look. And 91,
91.
9 more.
Oh my days.
You got in there. So
why did I have to tell this? Why did the pain I just inflicted on myself?
92. You are just about there now, I think. Where are you at? 90...
93.
93. 95.
95.
You're gonna stay until you get to the 100. 5 more, guys. 5 more. Click the link.
98. 98.
And there you go. I can hear the refresh. I can hear 5 going big time.
96. I just dropped by 2 for some reason. 96. 97.
Come on, everyone. Come on. I put in the comment again.
98.
99.
99 now. One more.
Go on.
100.
There we go.
There you go.
Boom.
Oh my days. I'm gonna have to call my friend. Thanks, man.
I'm gonna leave it there, man. But congrats very much. I'm gonna get Jerry on. Big love, mate.
Yeah,
catch you in a bit, dude.
I haven't. In a bit, man.
Before we get to Jerry, quickly, there's a comment. Where are we at? George White saying, "How would you approach second leg, Stephen?" Mate, let me just see what happens. Honestly, for the weekend, but I would go for pretty much the strongest team again. I would guess fundamentally what we did in the second half, even with Zinchenko probably, I would just do that. I'm happy because it works. I'm a simple man, simple solutions for sometimes simple problems. That's what I would say, man. Jerry, big Jerry energy. My voice is a raspy one. I can't do you the credit he deserves right now, but mate, you're an absolute legend. How are you doing, my friend? Another, like Scott, that's positivity when we need it. I know you didn't doubt this team because I know you're there alongside me, feeling confident and trusting this team. But did you have any doubts at any point tonight? To be honest.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I mean, the first half worried me, but the one thing that I think makes this team so different from any other Guardiola team is that they've proven that they they almost play better from behind. And whereas in the past, and that's kind of been the Achilles heel, even when this offense was flying, we were scoring goals. It's like this team didn't know how to react to pressure because they were up 4 or 5 goals so many times, especially in league. Now it's, well, you're down 1, so what? I mean, we're gonna just play our game. We're gonna score. We're gonna make adjustments. And as long as the game doesn't get out of hand, I mean, I expect them to come back and win any match. And I mean, there've only been a handful of times this season they've quote unquote let us down. And I mean, it's so I just think it's silly. It just bothers me when people just start shitting all over this team. It's like, have you not been watching? Like, this is a great squad.
No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you on that. Because as I said, like the reason, like everyone's always on Twitter, oh, another Steven take that stand up really well. It's like the only reason he stands up well is because I'm usually just positive about very good footballers, and lo and behold, very good footballers are probably going to be very good in the future again. So if you side with them, you're probably going to look very good. So it's not complicated. Like the proof is quite clearly in 4 months of the pudding. You know, like if that's the saying it is now. But either way, you can see like when you've got a team that wins 30 odd out of 30. Whatever it is now, saying they're going to win another game, it's a pretty safe bet, is what I'm getting at, you know. So we need to learn to trust his side, don't we, man? By the way, Raheem said how to follow Jerry. It'll come on screen right now. There we go. It's his Twitter handle there, JMax73. Go and give him a follow on Twitter, everyone, because Jerry is a fucking legend, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Jerry's an absolute legend. But go on, man. As you were going to say then.
No, I was just going to say. I mean, it's such nonsense when people, and I'm guilty of it too. But I try to temper, you know, my negativity. But people say, oh, he's a shit player. He's a crap player. He's never done anything. You know, people just shitting all over Maria. Okay, these are world-class players. You get to one of the top leagues. I don't care if you're a bench player. You're fucking good. Okay, you know, pardon my language. I mean, you're really good. And
if you play for Guardiola, you're good. As simple as that.
Right. Any given night, you can go off. I mean, it's so people just need to dispatch with that nonsense and just realize, look, it's at this level, everyone has talent. Sure, PSG has Mbappe and Neymar, and there's a handful of teams that have some really elite players. But you know what? Those guys, those are the outliers. I mean, there are really good teams without those, oh my God, superstars. And you know, those teams don't always win. And, you know, I mean, it hasn't been mentioned. Maybe it has. I may have missed it. But to me, the unsung hero of this match was Kyle Walker, because I think he was a key player. He was the key in shutting down Mbappe. And the reason I say this is whenever I've watched PSG this year, it seems like Mbappe loves to get out, drift out to the wing and cut in. And it wasn't there. And then I think it was in the 48th minute, you know, Kev lost the ball. He chips it to Gundogan. Gundogan doesn't get it, and Mbappe gets it, and it's off to the races. And Walker is a good 6 to 10 yards behind him, almost flat-footed. He gets on his horse and catches him, tackles him, wins the ball back. And to me, that was like, are you kidding me? I mean, that's if that's someone else at right back, I mean, goodbye. I mean, he's you know, getting to the box, he's going to cut in and he's going to have a shot. So to me, that was really the secret to why. I mean, there are other things, but I think that was one of the big things that Walker really played so well. And I think he's the best right back in the league.
Do you know what the most tiring thing I ever hear about Kyle Walker is? Like, oh, he's just got pace. Like, you do realize that is, well, yes. Like, oh, he's just got an insane physical attribute. Well, yes. Why is that uses a stick to beat him? Like, I don't get it. Like, and also bear in mind, like, oh, he's the worst passer on the team. I don't think that's true. Might not be true, but either way, someone has to be the worst passer in the team by default. And even then, like, he's probably better than 99% of other footballers technically. He's just surrounded by technical freaks. So, of course, he might look a little bit lesser sometimes. But I guarantee you, if he played for Newcastle, he'd probably be their best passer of the ball because he's been playing for Guardiola for years. So I get so bored of the lazy ways to put down Kyle Walker, as if he isn't fucking absolutely insanely good defensively, as if his very existence doesn't allow us to win games like tonight, as you're just getting at, Jerry. Like he deserves that respect, doesn't he, man? Because, like, yeah, as he's just said, Max just said, he'd be nothing about pace, but like, let's say Aguero would be nothing about his finishing. Exactly, it's an attribute in the way that finishing is. It is, isn't it? It's an attribute.
Well, it's, you know, and if this makes you feel better, this is a universal hatred across all sports. I mean, I watch a lot of American sports, and it's the same thing. You get people that say, "Oh, well, he's just fast." Well, okay, you know what? I mean, pace isn't everything, but it's a lot of something, and there's a reason that it causes pressure. And to me, that's why City was struggling a little bit. I think they were fearful of in the second half. At the half, Pep said, "Look, respect these guys, but don't fear them. I mean, let's go." And bringing Zinchenko in, I think that he's a guy that is not as talented as Cancelo physically, but he's got a better mentality. He wasn't afraid. I think Cancelo, just the big lights came on and he was just uncharacteristically poor.
I'm not saying Cancelo is poor mentally, but I think Zinchenko is actually stronger. And I think it's because of Zinchenko's story, personally, in terms of what he's had to go through to get a spot in this team. I'm not saying, once again, that doesn't mean Cancelo's bad. It just means Zinchenko's brilliant. And I think his story in the City team makes him so good for this moment.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that he came on, the mentality changed. And I had said in the first half, I mean, it's kind of a Captain Obvious moment, but I said, hey, we are one goal away from completely changing this thing. And that goal happened, and it was like the light went on and PSG shit themselves. And when it was damn near over at 1-1. When it was 2-1, it was over. They lost their shit. They were cynical tackles. The red card came. They just couldn't handle it. And that's why what I think, PSG, that's been their problem this year. I mean, they've kind of crumbled, and that's allowed Lille to come up behind them and jump them in the league. So, I just think Guardiola played it perfectly. I think, the second leg is ours. I wouldn't change a thing. The only thing, and you may think I'm crazy, the only thing I think they might benefit from is swapping out Bernardo for Jesus. And the reason I say that is, again, it infuses a little more pace. And I think right now PSG is going to be scared to concede another goal. And if you bring Jesus in with Foden and Mahrez, that kind of pace, they're going to shit themselves. City's going to go up 1-0 and it's over.
I wouldn't be surprised if actually Guardiola feels something similar. And to be honest, given Sterling's encouraging performance, I would say, against Spurs, and not incredible, I wouldn't be surprised if he's in for a shout as well, because they're going to have to push forward. It might be that we see a second half substitute, if that makes sense, but I do think we will see at some point one of those utilised, because you're right. There's going to be that's what makes me confident. Is they have to score two. They have to score two. And can anyone really not see us scoring a goal or two as well ourselves? And I don't know, man. And obviously if they score two and we score one, it's tight. I get that. But I don't know. I feel if they're going for it, I just feel confident. It feels like a lot for PSG right now, and they're definitely capable of doing that. But I don't know, man. It feels like the momentum's in our hand, and obviously they'll play the weekend and probably win as well. But mentality and belief in most of football at this level, aren't they? Because when you get to this level, anyone can beat anyone. And I do believe right now they're going to be. All they need is one bad moment in that first half, PSG, to be fucking shitting it. To quote yourself, essentially there. And I think that's probably fair, man. So. What's your prediction for the second leg, man? Do you dare to go there yet?
I think it could be a 2-0. It could be a 2-1. I mean, obviously, I think City's going to, come. I think they're going to win. My only concern is, as it has been with this team all year, is will they concede early? I mean, like they did with Dortmund in the second leg. Will they? And then the doubt creeps in. But I think if they can sort of avoid those moments. I mean, this was such a game of inches. I mean, that header that PSG scored on was just, it was perfect placement. They damn well could have scored on.
Good goal.
Yeah, I mean, there were several, and then even the goals that City scored. I mean, people, we want to sit back and say, oh wow, okay, there was. I don't want to say luck, but there was some good fortune in both those goals. I went back and watched them. Kev's, it was a cross. Navas did not have a brain fart. He thought it was he was trying to get up to defend Stones, and the ball went in. Okay, and then the Mahrez on the set piece. I mean, it went through the wall, a gap ball width. I mean, it was just one of those things, an inch either way, and that ball's deflected. So sometimes you have to be a little lucky. And sure, there were. Yeah, no, and I mean, sure, you could say, well, Phil kind of missed the sitter. I mean, but hey, that was bad luck. So it evened out, and the good luck happened with the other two. But it doesn't take away from the fact City didn't give up. They played hard. They had the mentality. They got themselves in the position, and they scored.
I'm sorry, but often
Exactly.
you do. And look, and once again, as I said, I can't remember, it was about half an hour ago now, but I said to someone, look, to be honest, like the reason KDB gets that look is because he's KDB, and he crosses it that well, and he puts that much whip, and he puts that much uncertainty with the quality of the cross. So, I mean, if you're not a good player, you make a bad cross, it doesn't go in. As simple as that. You know what I mean? Like, that's the point. It's like, so you do make your own look. And as Guardiola said, like at this stage of the competition, football it's unpredictable, and there is an element of luck in it. And luck often hasn't been on the City side in this competition. Tonight it was on our side, but once again we came out and we played well, and because we were maintaining possession in their defensive third, it felt like, I said it once again to someone else earlier, like it feels like we often score goals with this system, with the false nine, just through persistence, through being there, and, through wearing teams down. And fear will kick in, won't it? It'll kick in eventually, because we're a very good side. And
we made the luck because we didn't panic when we were down 1-0, and that's really the difference between this squad and all the other City squads under Guardiola, is they just don't quit. And not that the other teams quit, but it's just a different level of confidence they have. They don't panic, and so in fact, I'm pleased. I was just hoping for 1-1, 2-1. I'm over the moon. Let's see what happens. Maybe this is our year.
Jerry, you're a legend, mate. Genuinely, what a night, eh? What a night! It's been a pleasure for watching it as well with you, man. Like, genuinely, thank you so much for the support as ever. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, man.
You got it, mate.
You're a top bloke. See you later, dude. In a bit. See you later, mate. Good night.
Good night.
Connor, how you doing? Thank you for waiting.
How's
so
it going,
much patience,
man?
Connor. Good to chat to you for the first time.
No
Whereabouts are you? Whereabouts are you?
I'm in Los Angeles, so long way away, but yeah, no, I'm happy to be here. Happy to finally meet you, man.
Yeah, likewise. It's good putting so many faces to so many names, but I know, like, the patience, an hour and a half, man. Jesus Christ.
Well, it's good conversation. It's good conversation. It wasn't
good.
hard.
It's all good. It's all good. Like, Nicholas fell asleep on the sofa, literally fall asleep over there.
Oh, no. Hopefully we won't be bothering her for too much longer.
Yeah, no. Where are you after that, man? Sum it up. How's Connor's head after that game? Like, it was a roller coaster, wasn't it? But how you feeling?
It was definitely a roller coaster. I think that I came into the game thinking, if we get through the first 20 minutes without conceding, we're in a good place. I think that our possession in the final third is going to tire any team out. And I think that, honestly, in the beginning of the game, we were surprised a little bit by the fact that Neymar and Mbappe were staying high and weren't helping in the defense at all. And so they outlet passes or Paredes or one of the fullbacks, they were able to find Neymar or Di Maria early in the game and create counter opportunities. And I think that shocked us, because most Premier League teams won't play us that way. And their strikers will be, sprinting around everywhere trying to account for Diaz and Stones with the ball. So I think that the first 20 minutes were always going to be the most dangerous, and I think it'll be the same way in the second leg. I think that with energy in their legs, Mbappe and Neymar and all the PSG players are dangerous. So I'm feeling really good, because I think that.
Oh, I've just lost you. You just broke up there.
It was like, look. Oh, sorry.
You're back.
Am I back?
Go for it, yeah. You said you're feeling really good, and then
I think that. Oh no. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm feeling good about everything, because I think that the system is working. Obviously the system has its vulnerabilities, and when teams have energy, that's when we're most vulnerable, because they'll play us fast. I think that I'm so happy about Bernardo Silva. I think Bernardo Silva is the secret for all this. I think that the secret to success this season has been our pressing ability. And I think that the secret to our pressing ability is the fact that Bernardo Silva can run everywhere for like the entire game. So KDB can float, Foden, Mahrez can float a little bit, because Bernardo Silva will just run all over the place. So I think that everything that's been said is true. We've made our own luck because of the system that we played, and even if the goals were a little weird and fluky, they were inevitable.
It doesn't matter, does it? It just doesn't matter.
No.
It's like it's one of those things like who remembers how the goal's going? Like if he got to the point where we're lifting the trophy, who gives a shit if one goal scruff through the wall? I mean, because it happens, but it happens to every team, doesn't it? Every team has those moments on the way to a big moment. You have to rise your luck a little bit. And once again, it's like. Do you think the players would be giving a shit? Imagine they won a trophy, like, oh yeah, but I mean, I won the Champions League, but that was a cross. They're not going to say. I think we get so bogged down on this, don't we? I mean, literally, when you're in knockout competitions, the only thing that matters is how you win. Is that you win, not how you win. And you obviously know that, Connor. But I guess I'm just saying that because I think it's a results game at this stage of the season, isn't it? It's just about results, and I think we just we probably forget that because we're so exposed to. I'm doing it as well to analysis constantly. Like sometimes I think Pep will be just like, we won. We won, and that is quite literally what matters. By the way, Mark says it says Bernardo Zengi is fundamentally important. Good call. I agree. He's brilliant, isn't he, man? He's brilliant, Connor. He's such a phenomenal player.
He's so good. He's the guy I got on the back of my shirt too. He needs more love. He needs more love because he's technically there too. He's gotten a lot of assists this season. But you're right. I think that it's whether it's fluky goals or not. It's all about margins, especially in knockout soccer, like in Champions League or the Euros, the World Cup. When it's knockout football, it's cagey games and fine margins. And with the way that Guardiola plays and the system that City plays with, we're just going to challenge your margins a little more than you're going to challenge ours. So chances are we have the better chance to go through, and in my mind, that means we're playing the better soccer or football for everybody who's not in the U.S. But yeah, it is a game of margins at this point, and that's why it's so stressful for us as City fans because we've struggled here. We've struggled in the fine margins of knockout football. So I'm just so happy that this season, it's all starting to pay off, and I feel good about the second leg. But I'm not gonna discount Mbappe and Neymar and what they can do when they are playing at their best.
I do not think you're on your own with that. I think Pep will feel exactly the same, man.
They're scary. I understand why our defenders are scared of them. They're scary. It's okay. They're scary players.
That's fine. That's what we say. I said in the preview as well. I mean, we can't expect this to be like Leicester or Spurs, where even though they were great teams, we controlled the game. No, PSG. These are showmen, and showmen show up on big stages. They love the big top 10, man. That's what they love because they live for it. And these players are the ones who win trophies, and obviously they haven't done it yet, but it's inevitable that eventually they will get there because they're too good to keep quiet. And all you can do is play your best and cross your fingers, and I just hope for the best because they are quality footballers, as we know, and I think we underestimated as well, probably collectively, people like Di Maria, and because Di Maria is a phenomenal footballer as well. He's just not Mbappe, but it's like saying, well, Mahrez isn't De Bruyne, but he's still Mahrez. He's still phenomenal, he's so I guess they're a brilliant team, and I think we probably should all revel a little bit in how good we've been tonight because it's a massive result, isn't it, Connor? It's a massive result.
It's a huge result.
Connor,
it's a huge result, yeah.
Connor, you're a legend, mate. I'm getting free a little bit quicker now, just because it's 12:30.
Of course.
Get Connor, you're a hero, man. Yeah, likewise.
Awesome. You as well,
Thank you so
Steven.
much for the spot. See you later, mate.
Of course. See you later.
Bye bye. Laurie, thank you so much for waiting. How you doing, mate?
Not a problem at all. I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you so much for becoming a member as well. I really, really appreciate it. And for the super chat earlier, massively appreciate it. Whereabouts are you, man?
So I was up in Manchester, but I've moved back down nearer London now, so in Hertfordshire.
Oh, nice, man, nice. And repping the blue shirt down in London. Good on you, man.
Thank you.
Laurie, how are you feeling after that game? I'm asking everyone that because everyone's got their different. How were you before the game as well? And how were you at half time?
So
and then
it was
at the end?
Quite weird.
Take me through your story then. Go on.
I was not nearly as nervous as I was for Dortmund before the game. That is, I didn't necessarily think we were gonna win, but I didn't have those nerves that I had before Dortmund. I suppose it was the quarterfinal curse and all of that. But then when they scored, that is when the nerves absolutely kicked in. Then half time, I was speaking to a lot of my friends who are into football, and I was like, I don't see us not scoring at all. So I still went into the second half with a positive attitude, which ended up being great for us. So some of the videos I sent to my friends when we scored were ridiculous. I was over the moon. I can't lie, absolutely over the moon. But obviously we came out on top. I really, it's too soon to say, but I still don't really see us losing the second leg now. I really respect all the players, and I saw you say after Dortmund that this year is different, and I completely agree. This year does definitely seem different.
It just feels it, doesn't it? I'm not sure. I don't think I'm reaching there. It just feels different.
Exactly.
You sense it sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, I can't exactly explain why, but it does feel different. So I am very excited. But then I was also saying to my friends whether or not I'd want Real Madrid or Chelsea. This is given that we do get through. So, yeah. So obviously it's not over yet.
By the way, an hour and 40 of attack. You're the first person who's gone. I love the braveness of that.
I know. Obviously it's not over yet, but with Dortmund over, not Dortmund, Real Madrid or Chelsea, it's a very weird thing to think about, because I think I'd rather have Chelsea because I think we'd have a better shot, but I would rather lose to a non-Premier League club than a Premier League club. But regardless of that, I think we have a very good chance in the second leg now. Honestly, like tonight, I think the largest part of it was that obviously we haven't got to the stage for 5 years now. Regardless of the result, I was just enjoying the fact we had got to this stage, and
I feel the same.
I was very I just went into the game with a positive attitude, just saying we've got to this stage now. Just enjoy the match, which I did. As much as when we conceded, I was not the happiest, but still I was enjoying the game. But obviously we come out winning it, even at 1-0 down. I was thinking it's still only the first leg. At half time I was thinking this game there's 4 halves or 4 quarters. It isn't over yet. Even if we finish the leg 1-0 down, we can still come back for it. I don't. It is very hard to explain my thought process through it, but I couldn't be any happier at the end of it. The only way I'd be any happier is if we scored another goal. But honestly, at this point, it just feels like that's pointless wishing us to do that, because we're already in such a good position. Obviously, we could lose it, but we're at a much better position now than if the tie finished 1-0. So,
and what more can you ask for than that, really? I guess. I mean, like,
exactly.
Honestly, I 2-1. I mentioned at the start of that's what my prediction was, but I was happy with the idea that because away goals are everything in this competition. And,
of course, yeah.
That's quite literally like they are the the difference maker. And to get 2 away, it's not impossible that PSG could get 2 at the Etihad, but it's a big ask while not conceding just as many at the same time. That's the difference for them. And there's always the factor that when you've got to go away for the second leg and you've got to chase it afterwards, it's finishing the job at home while the other team is coming from behind as well. It's just hard for PSG. I mean, regardless of like the context, it's hard to do anyway for whichever team it is. Like when you've got to finish a job and you're in a good position at home, it's just a better place to be in. Because it's like it's familiarity and all that kind of stuff.
Of course,
and they won't be crushed, PSG, but I think they'll be disappointed tonight. Really disappointed. And go on, you gonna say?
Sorry, one thing I caught your stream at half time, and one thing you said is the one thing PSG don't need is confidence. And that's what their first goal gave them. But with our goals, obviously that to a certain extent that it would have at least shaken their confidence with the rest of the tie. If we went into the second leg 1-0 down, they would have had basically all the confidence in the world, more or less. Whereas we go into it now 2-1 up, it's definitely going to affect them somehow. And also, to a certain extent, PSG's strengths are City's weaknesses, like getting in behind their very, very pacey attack. They no longer do they have to just sit back and hope we don't score. They actually have to, score 2 goals now, which I think is going to it's going to be extremely difficult for them to do in the first place. But it's not. I don't really know how to put it into words, but to score 2 goals now, it's not like having Barcelona have to score 2 goals against us or Bayern having to score 2 goals against us. With PSG, their whole or a very large part of their play style is on the counter attack, and the fact that we don't need to go out and score a goal really puts the pressure on them, which I think puts us in a very advantageous position.
Massively, man, massively. And touching that confidence thing is like, I do think sides like PSG, when you have those show players and the showmen, they are confidence players, and they're at the best when they're feeling confident. But at the same time, you see that petulance come out, and it's 2 sides of the coin, man. Like that side of the coin, it's great, it's confident. That side, it's negative, and it's not. But but that's it. We need to keep them in that place, because you keep a team like PSG in the petulant mode, which is it's not easy, but it's possible and doable, as we saw. You win, you break them, and that's massive. Laurie, thank you so much for coming on, man. It's been an absolute pleasure.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Oh no, always. I would normally chat for longer, but there's 20 people done so far tonight.
Of course,
so
not a problem.
Everyone. I've got a couple more people to get through tonight. If anyone joins in now, by the way, afterwards, I'm just not going to get to you. I'll be honest, because I'm too tired. But for now, though, catch you very much. Thank you very much.
Have a good one.
Catch you soon.
Thank you.
Mate. See you later. DT, I'm coming for you, mate. How you doing, man? You all right? You're muted, by the way. You got yourself muted, by the way. Your mic's muted. Oh, there we go. There you go. You're back. Oh, there's a lot of feedback. I'm hearing myself very clearly. I think you got the earphones. Go into your settings, mate. Your mic settings. I think you've got your laptop as this mic. Or whatever it is, but either way, I'm getting feedback of myself. just check your earphone settings, because sometimes it makes the Bluetooth one. I'm not hearing you at all. I'm not hearing you at all. So down the bottom corner, there should be a little 3 dots that say Edit Mic Settings, and then make sure your mic, cam and mic. Make sure your audio set. Sometimes it sets these as your earphones as the mic. There we go. I can hear you, man, now.
That was quite embarrassing,
I've done much worse than that, mate. Don't worry about it. I've done much worse than that. Thank you so much. Welcome. Is it just, how's your first name pronounced? Is it just that, or that?
Yes,
your first name? That, man. Where are you, mate? Where are you?
I am currently down in London.
Nice, man. Nice. Repping the classic shirt as well, of course, man.
Yeah, the 99 Wembley.
Fitting, actually, maybe on a night like tonight. Probably the furthest we've ever come in this kind of situation, back from one of our lowest ever points as well. Mate, thank you for becoming a member tonight. Thank you for your patience as well, waiting around. I really, really appreciate it. And I know, by the way, Mike and Keith are waiting as well. And guys, you're not far off now as well. So if you can hear me, Mike, Keith, make sure you're ready in a bit. But that, man, thank you. And also, how are you after that game? Because I know it's the kickoff, full time was a couple of hours ago now, but did you enjoy it? Are you happy? Where are you at, man?
I was telling people my score prediction was 3-1. We were close to getting a 3rd goal with Foden's run through the middle.
Yeah.
Very, very like Messi. I do hate to say, but that was phenomenal by him. He didn't have the best game, but he was still given a 7 out of 10.
That's good, isn't it, though? Because you don't always have to have the best game to be effective. And I think a few players probably had that tonight. I mean, if it's a big if, it didn't happen, which is a shame. But if Foden scored that tonight, who gives a shit, if he had a best game or not? Everyone would have been buzzing, wouldn't they? That was the thing. And I guess that's been lost a little bit. No one's really mentioned Foden's run, but he's a talent, isn't he? I mean, did he do any worse than Mbappe or Neymar tonight? He didn't really, did he? He was probably as good as they were, and they are bona fide superstars, so that's impressive, isn't it? The fact that even then he was still that impressive.
Yeah, it's Foden. He is the marquee, he is the new marquee player of this team, because we can build a front three with him, and it's difficult because he can play on the wings and he can play in the middle. So we don't really know what his best position is, but currently he's doing phenomenal in the left side where he's now keeping Raheem Sterling out of the team. Granted, Raheem Sterling hasn't been phenomenal this season, but he did have a great game, in my opinion, for the Carabao Cup final.
Yeah. And that's impressive, isn't it? I mean, at that age as well, he's 21 in May, I think. Either way, he's only the first version of Foden as well. He's got so much to improve and so much to learn, and it's exciting. I mean, it's impressive that even when Foden was a bit quiet tonight, we still found a way to win as well. Because usually he's been involved in all the good stuff, but we didn't really need him, which I think shows how impressive the collective is, right, as a team at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, there's something, like you said, there is something different about this team because, well, I lost my dad in August, so I didn't watch City because it was kind of hard for me to watch City.
I'm so sorry, mate. Genuinely so sorry to hear that.
I tuned into the Leicester game where we got we got pummeled in that game. Let's be honest. But then there's something about the defense where he trusts the defense now, where he isn't overthinking Guardiola, and I don't know if it's down to Ruben Diaz's leadership skills or if it's second season syndrome for a lot of our assets from the first season, such as Rodri, who I was a bit critical of because he isn't like Fernandinho, where he can't switch the play quickly, but he's slowly becoming he might be one of the first names on the team sheet.
He was good tonight, wasn't he, man? He was really good. Once again, mate, I was want to say sorry. I'm so sorry to hear about your loss, man. But hopefully we go so far this season that I'm sure your dad's watching somewhere, man. I'm sure he is. But that's you're a brave man, man. Genuinely, all the love to you, and I sincerely mean that, mate. I wish one day, hopefully, get to see you in person and just immense amount of respect. And I'm glad that City, obviously City, that's the best thing about City, isn't it? And the best thing about football is that we get this community together where we can all chat away about this kind of stuff, mate. But everyone in the comments as well is passing on their best wishes, mate. But we're here, mate, and we're chatting away about football, and this is what your dad would have wanted as well, man. So and we got to celebrate tonight as well. You must have enjoyed that tonight, man. You must have enjoyed watching City get there, and how much would it mean as well to get to the finally for you?
Honestly, I'm telling people I have to get to Istanbul, but
I'll be so happy for you.
But Turkey's going through a bit of a situation with the pandemic as compared to the UK, so the final may be moved again. We don't actually know for this moment. I mean, if it is moved, then maybe somewhere like Spain where it's a bit more nicer.
Yeah, a bit sunnier, a bit. Let's get it to Wembley. I know. Let's hope Chelsea get there and City. Get it to Wembley. Get it local for you so you can get them, man. That'd be wonderful. Who stood out for you tonight? Other than Foden, we mentioned Rodri as well. Was anyone in particular that you felt deserved a little bit of credit tonight?
Zinchenko. I'm a big fan of Zinchenko.
Has he done enough? Has he done enough for the second leg?
It's more so the story of Zinchenko. The whole story of him being a CFG player, City Football Group player, where we were mentioned to just make a quick profit of, such as nearly going to Wolves for 15 million, I believe it was, but he continued to stay, fight, and he's been a consistent left back. Where the point where I don't really know if we need a left back in a way.
I agree.
It'll save us money to go for a number 9 with Sergio leaving, unfortunately, but. If Zinchenko was in another team doing what he's doing, the pundits would be creaming over him.
You're not wrong, mate. You're not wrong. That's always the test, by the way. If he was playing for another team, we had this versatile 24-year-old fullback, and everyone like, oh, he's like a young Gallagher. Everyone would be saying, let's get him. That's always the thing. You don't sometimes know what you've got, do you? Genuinely, and he's better than he was a year ago, isn't he? Zinchenko's improved, hasn't he? In my opinion, I think he's better defensively.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who to start in the next match, but I would say he's got a big headache, Pep Guardiola, because Crystal Palace on the weekend, he will play the likes of Jesus and all the other players on the bench. And if they perform, it's going to give him a bit of a headache towards PSG, because I would like to see Jesus play, because I think we could have got a third goal if Jesus at the end of Rodri's cross, I believe it was. But again, goals is a good. 2 away goals is a great result for us, and hopefully 90 minutes away from the final.
Just imagine, mate. Imagine that. That would be incredible, wouldn't it? Like, and do you know what? I think the Jesus stuff is not a bad shout. People keep saying that, and like, I think there is something in that. I do think probably playing with a striker when one team has to constantly go at us and counter, it's probably not the worst idea. And at the same time, he probably will go for the false 9. Maybe that's the most likely option. But Jesus or someone like Sterling to get a significant amount of time in the second leg feels sensible, doesn't it? It feels like something that could cause PSG an awful lot of problems.
Yeah, we've got a lot of rested players. He only made 1 sub. We must forget. So our bench, we've got a lot of players who can play Crystal Palace. So honestly, like Pep says, focusing on the next game, and then we'll get towards PSG, to be honest.
Imagine if we won the league this weekend as well. Imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I love it because I know a lot of Chelsea fans at my uni, and if they give us a guard of honor, I will be sending it all over.
Would they give you a guard of honor, man? Would you get them to line up as well and walk? Because we can't, because the pandemic. Fuck's sake, you get them to do it outside. A social distance guard of honor for DT, man. Imagine that. Make it happen. You get one for your friends as well, man.
Get a few talks with that.
Yeah. Mate, thank you so much for coming on. I would love to keep going, but I am genuinely, I've been streaming for 7 hours now, so I get to the point where I've just reached my limit, but I'm gonna have to get through to Mike and keep you waiting as well. But mate, you're an absolute legend, and once again, I pass on, I know you've heard this from a billion people by now, but I pass on my sincere apologies to you and your family, mate. For what I can tell, I've only met you for a few minutes, mate, but your dad would be very, very proud of you, and you seem like a lovely lad, mate. Thank you for the support on the channel. It's been a pleasure. Big love, mate. Thank you so much. Catch you in a bit. See you later, dude.
Cheers, mate.
Bye. Bless you, man. Bless you, DT. Absolute legend, man. Big love to DT as well. That obviously, DT, whichever way you call him, he's a cool guy. He's got 2 names, which is the best kind of names to have. And Laurie said just one thing. I hope we can have a Haaland versus Kane signing in the future. Video in the future. There will be that definitely at some point. Right now, we've got bigger fish to fry, and it's about the football right now, man. But we'll be getting onto that almost certainly going forward. Right, Mike, you've been waiting patiently. Mike McElroy. Blue American and proud EK. Mike, you absolute legend. Thank you for your patience, mate. I really, 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 really appreciate it. And hello and welcome, man. It's good to chat to you.
It's good to talk to you, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you nice and clear, man. Nice and clear.
Oh, perfect.
How are you?
I'm very well, particularly after this match and after this tie. And it's really good to talk to you. I know you're exhausted, and I know this is a great evening. We all want to celebrate. I just, honestly, I just want to point I want to just tell you, like, I joined, and I've been thinking about joining for so long, but I finally came into some money, and I'm like, I gotta give Steven some money, man, because you guys have just sustained me.
You don't have to, honestly. I say that to everyone, but I appreciate if everyone can. But if anyone ever feels like that, I mean, this goes to everyone watching. You ever feel like your skin, just save the money, man.
But here's the thing, though, Stephen. Like, I know, and I really appreciate you saying that, but like, if this gives me the opportunity to talk to you in person and express my gratitude for you, like, just pulling me through this pandemic, man, with your good vibes, your love of the team, and it is really, it's really important, and I know that it's important to you, and I wanted you to hear it because it's really helped me a lot, and I've loved it.
Well, I feel mad saying that as you're paying to chat to me, essentially, so I feel like a bit of a hypocrite for that.
No,
but what I will say is, like, the only way this fan view stuff would work if it was people who, if it was just open, it'd be chaos. I'd be getting trolled every 2 minutes. So it's like, naturally, obviously, as you guys all know, it's what I do for a living. So like, if I was Arsenal Fan TV and had millions of views, I wouldn't even bother with memberships, because I wouldn't need to. If that makes sense. So that's the only reason I do this, because it's like, it gives people a chance to chat away, and it's just also a nice way, man. It's also a nice way to chat away. But either way, Mike, honestly, it blows my mind because I know you guys watch my videos and all that kind of stuff, but I'm just, you guys just sat over here, and I'm just pretty good at editing, and I've got a big gob. That's all, So it's crazy, like that you guys.
You're selling yourself short, man. You're selling yourself
all
short.
I am, man.
You're bringing great
Yeah.
attitude. You're bringing great stuff. Love it. And
I'm
it is
just a guy with a big gob and positive vibes. But that, if you enjoy it, that works for me, Mike. But Mike, more importantly than me, and more importantly than actually nothing's more important than this. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. But what I will say is, like, how good was this, man? How good was tonight? How much did it mean to you personally?
It was so good, considering the first half was just so terrible. I mean, it would.
Yeah.
I haven't seen us boss like that in quite some time, honestly. Like they ran us around. They pressed us really well. They were very good. And, I realized we gave up a goal on a set piece, which, kind of is what it is. Those things will happen. But independent of that goal, too, they really manhandled us a bit, which I was shocked by. I mean, I know they're a good squad and all that, but you can count the number of teams on one hand who could do that to us, seriously. And they really gave us a hard time.
Can you count the number of players of Neymar and Mbappe's quality in the Premier League? You know what I mean? So that's it, isn't it? Like, they are a step above what we probably face in the Premier League.
No doubt. But, it just wasn't Neymar and Mbappe. And I think someone pointed out in the broadcast that, like, Mbappe may have had the fewest touches of anybody on the whole field, at least through the first half. So, like, he was there, but he wasn't, like, he wasn't running the game. And I thought Neymar was good. I thought Di Maria was fantastic.
He was brilliant, wasn't he?
He was
their
so
best
good.
player, I thought.
Yeah, Marquinhos was obviously very, very good, not just on the goal, but in general. He was just solid. And but we had second half Zinni. You're my second half Zinni, by the way, Stephen. You're the man who comes in and makes things better.
It's not hard though. Like, the thing is, I sound so prescient always, but I'm always just saying. By the way, looking at the history of Man City, is we pretty much get better in the second half and do it. And everyone's like, oh yeah, like if everyone just said that and said the same thing, they'd be right 9 times out of 10. And that's the secret to looking good. It's that easy. That's what I keep saying. It's like if you just predict City to win, you're probably going to right, and you look like a genius. It's dead easy.
Yeah, no, that's
people,
true.
Like, yeah.
No, but I take that point, but I also like, what a difference between this and last year in the Champions League. I mean, the response has been completely different, and the team is ready to take on anything. It's been fantastic. I just love it.
Do you have any views of why that is? Because we've discussed this over the past 2 hours now quite intensely, but everyone has their own things, man. Like, and what's changed for you? What's changed for you?
Well, clearly Diaz has just a massive effect. I think that's who you are too. You're my Diaz. You're there in the back, handling everything, Steven. You're good. You're the watcher on the wall, man. You're there taking care of business.
This much positivity with Nicola. Like she's falling asleep, but either way. But genuinely, I feel like I've got like a third wheel in this relationship.
I'm your hype man. I'm right here for you. And Nicola as well too. It's always she always brings quality. We could all use a little more Nicola in our content, no doubt.
Anyone could in life, yeah, definitely.
A happy belated birthday to her. No, but I think Diaz has had a massive effect. I think also just Rodri sorting out his role and just standing tall in front of those guys. And I think Walker has also been fantastic this year. His defense has been fantastic. His ability to get forward at key times has been crucial. And Cancelo, you can talk about the whole back. And I mean, I haven't even talked about Stones yet. Like Stones is like a completely different person. It's like he whatever happened to him before is completely gone, and now he's just back there just dealing with problems.
Occasionally, I get goosebumps because I just like often when I get a surge of like a point which like it just seems like I just got goosebumps thinking about Stones simply because, and we've touched it already on tonight, but we can't underestimate how big this night is personally for Stones. If I was John Stones now, and I'd had maybe moments of self-doubt over the past few years, and I'd had recently a poor patch of form, which he has had a couple of mistakes recently, but then
he's right. He's snapped back.
It's like this could be a line in the sand. This could be a line in the sand, but that doesn't happen usually with Stones. That's the point I'm making. Like, this could be fucking huge for Stones, man. This could be absolutely massive, couldn't it? Because he was abysmal against Villa. He had a nightmare, man. He had a nightmare, and he's just come back a week later and had possibly one of his best performances of his career, given the context, if that makes sense. And like this could be like, if Stones goes back to himself now, like he's unsavable probably, because like he should have every reason to feel confident now, shouldn't he? Because
Yeah.
he's just he's answered his critics and surely his own self-critics.
And I hope he takes something from that he knows that, whatever mistakes he makes, because everybody's going to make mistakes. That always happens. But it's just defenders and goalies. It's just much more. It's just more obvious and usually more
Exactly.
impactful.
Costly.
But
Yeah,
exactly. But he should just know now that he could just go back to being the normal 100% fantastic defender that he always is. He can just do that whenever he wants. Just come right back.
There's nothing better in football than a redemption story, and not that Stones needed a redemption because he's a multi-millionaire footballer who'd won a lot of trophies. But but either way, it's like he seems fundamentally just a normal guy. Stones. He seems like a decent lad who he's probably not like the ultimate professional, but he's not a bad professional. But he definitely just felt like he needed something to click in his head a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with that, because we forget once again that they are mid-20s blokes mainly, and I definitely hadn't clicked in mid-20s or whatever. I'm not sure I have now, and I'm 35.
Oh, I was.
Like,
I'm sure you were perfect in your mid-20s, just like me, Stephen.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Oh yeah, no. I didn't have any money. I was living in the parents' bedroom. Not their parents' bedroom. That sounds weird. Parents' house. I'm in bedroom, parents' house. And I was in a band trying to chase a dream, but having
Sounds
days where I
perfect.
felt like I'd made. Yeah, that's what I was doing, man. Like, but every point I guess I'm making is like, no one. That's one we forget. I know someone who works for Man City and are very close around the first team, and they are just young boys often. Young boys playing football together, and you have to. And some players like Diaz they are born leaders. They are born mature. I mean, I'm pretty certain fucking Ruben Diaz was marshalling the kids around at the crash. I'm sure he was doing that as a baby. But someone like John Stones, he's an affable, likable character. But he's how old is John Stones? Is he 26 now? I can't remember. Something like that.
I think he's 25 or 26. But I mean, you make a good point.
Yeah. That's the age when most people grow up at that age, though, most blokes. Around mid-20s is when they start to grow up. So maybe this is it. Maybe it was always as simple as that for Stones. He had a messy breakup with his missus, which once again happens in your mid-20s sometimes. Maybe this is his time. Maybe it was always a case of you just needing to get to this age. You know what I mean? Maybe it was just that.
And it's that, as hard as the training is and as hard as it is, obviously, to play at a team at that level, that mental element and being able to solve it is gold. Like that's just as hard as anything else, and maybe even be harder.
Yeah, definitely, man. Mike, before we get on to go to Keith, I want to know where's your head at for the second leg? Is a change is necessary? Is it more of the same, please, Pep, or is it going to be difficult? Is it going to be much? Is it going to be easier or harder? Because there's two ways it could go.
I can't imagine it'll be easy because I mean I don't know about you, but I rate Pochettino quite a bit. Like I think he can turn out squads. He's a guy who can get a team ready to play. And I would not expect them to go in there with their heads down and thinking, "Oh, we can't do this." I mean, they got, like you said, they got Neymar and Mbappe. They can put in goals whenever they need to. That's we're going to need our back line as good as it was in the second half today. Again, we're going to need those guys again, and they can do it again. So that's where my head is. We could do this. We could definitely do this. I'd much rather be in our shoes than in theirs.
Dare to dream, Mike. Dare to dream, because it's real. To be honest, right now, I said this earlier to someone else. I can't remember who it was, but I don't think there's any questions left to answer in terms of quality anymore. Like, we obviously know we're good enough. We obviously know we can beat anyone in this competition. They should know that. If I know that, and I'm not even fucking part of the team, how do they not know that? They should. They do know that now. I think Guardiola knows it. So what's left to fear, man? What's left to fear, Mike? Is there anything left to fear? I think I've lost you, Mike.
There's always the crazy. I'm still here. Are you there?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Can hear you now.
Okay. There's always the crazy element. I mean, there's the history, but it's not even so much. There's always going to be bad luck. But you know what? We haven't had bad luck yet. Gosh, knock on wood. Why am I even saying this? We haven't had that much bad luck yet. But the team, the setup, the mentality. Pep has been pulling all the right levers. I mean, one substitution today, and that substitution was crucial. It made a big difference in very subtle ways, and I think that's what I think we've got the subtleties down, and that's what Champions League football is all about. It's just that it's the smallest differences, man. It's
you
got to be there wherever those millimeters are. You got to be there.
It's the same in life, man. Like most breakthroughs of anything are normally just a subtle tweak to something, aren't they? And all of a sudden, in science, be it in food or whatever, it's always like, oh, a little bit more pepper needed or whatever. You know, it's always like something tiny, a tiny change, something that was already pretty good, and all of a sudden you get a perfect little recipe or a perfect new idea. But that's it. Sometimes you're right. A little subtle change, Zinchenko, just to maybe bring a little bit more composure to the way we're recycling the ball or whatever. Sometimes it can be as simple as that, and I think it can click right into place. Mike, you're an absolute legend. You really, really are.
No, before we go, you're the legend. You're the man.
I'm once again just a Govy Mancunian. He's pretty good at talking. That's all I am. Either way, I thank my parents because they're blessed with the I can't even talk, the irony of what I was trying to say, and I couldn't even get the words out. The gift of the gab, there's the word. For now, though, Mike, I'll catch you very soon, man. I'm going to get to Keith now. Good night, mate. Thank you so much
for coming
on. I big appreciate it. See you later, dude. In a bit. And before we get to the final guest of the night, I want to big up this comment from Christine. It says, Stephen, loving your content. I love it when I get to read a super chat, which is just like, Stephen, you're mint. It's always that nice. I'm like, yay. Loving the content you bring. Keep up the awesome work from a City fan in Australia on the Gold Coast. Christian Catley, I will continue to make these videos if people want to watch them. I've always said that this channel is literally, when the clubs go, we're nothing without the fans. I quite literally have nothing without the fans. Like, no one watching. No, these videos don't exist if people don't watch them. So thank you so much, mate. A big love to you. Let's get to the last last call of the night. It's Keith. Keith, listen to me, mate. Good to chat to you. I think your mic's muted, by the way. I can see a mute button next to your mic. Let's get it on. There we are.
Yeah, I'm on now.
Keith, man, long time coming this. How are you doing, man? It's good to meet you.
I am doing well. It's very good to meet you for the first time. I finally had a chance to do so. I've been waiting for the opportunity, so here I am.
Oh, it's good, man. It's good. You've been waiting for hours as well, literally. Thank you so much for hanging on as well, man.
Yeah, I managed to get my kid a shower and get the dog fed and, other stuff happening while I was waiting.
I'm pretty certain the second leg's about to kick off as well. It's been that long.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's about to get started. And I kind of wish it was. I kind of wish we just get to it, because it's going to be a long wait until next week to see this thing through.
Are you going to enjoy that wait? Because have you earned the right to enjoy that wait now?
Yes.
After tonight.
Oh yeah. I mean, after the most bizarre week and a half, 2 weeks, I don't know how long. It feels like a year that we've had, where we had Senator Palpatine, Florentino Perez try to steal football away from everybody, to create a galactic empire without letting anyone know. And then going from that weirdness and low point, and then, to get the Carabao Cup, the, final, and get the first trophy of the season down, and then, go to Paris, it's just been a roller coaster. So it's time to get back to football, time to get to enjoy it, kind of enjoy it. I'm really pumped. I'm gassed. I'm, for the days that are coming. And, I'm also fairly confident because I think you mentioned, or one of the guests mentioned earlier that, in terms of is it our year? Is it this year? And I feel like, yeah, it is because of like the whole mentality piece. I mean, and I think it's been mentioned repeatedly because every time I've seen this team go down or I've seen them give up a goal or whatever, they just, the calmness, the stillness, the peace, the zen of it, just the confidence of being able to put it together, move forward, and be able to do what they need to do. No major tweaks needed. Just like, all right, let's make one little substitution, which became a big substitution, at half, and then just dominate the second half, and then. PSG, they're a really good squad, but the thing of it is, though, you punch them in the mouth, they become 6-year-old children, that don't know what to do.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, but all of them are.
He was already a 6-year-old child.
I mean, he was a 6-year-old child. And he got Angel Di Maria, who also, I don't know. So that's the thing. You punch them in the mouth, and they start rolling around on the floor, and that's what happened. And so. that was just the perfect story, for the second half. I mean, City had 61% possession in the second half. They completely dominated the ball. Game plan was there, and they were just calmly went around their business. And PSG just didn't know what to do with it, at the time. And it's just the mentality thing that you've said it over and over and over all season. The inevitability, how inevitable this team is. They're going to come out on top. We're going to get the result. And it's been that way.
The other side of that is we look at it that way, but we often forget that because we expect it, the other team fear it, and that has power in itself. Like the power of fear.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, pretty much once again, Palpatine, he knows a thing or two about that. Like
Right.
genuinely, the power of fear, it controls it, and teams expect to concede against Manchester City, and you can't quite put into words how powerful that is as well. It really is, and it definitely puts the fear amongst the other team. And we feel it's inevitable. They probably will too. And once again, like when you score for one goal against Manchester City, it becomes likely that you're going to score a second for that very reason. So sometimes we don't realise that 2 goals is possibly just as likely as 1 if we score that first, because the momentum and that fear and that shift in the belief is absolutely huge. By the way, good analogy, because we literally played PSG on Star Wars Day, according to Mark, which is May the 4th. So May the 4th be with you, which is very, very interesting. Palpatine Perez. Actually, it's very, very true. But that fear, man. PSG did capitulate, didn't they? And I think that's probably that's once again the two sides of the same coin. Like incredibly talented showmen and players, but these showmen don't usually like to be showed up, do they? That's the thing. It's like they want to be the star, and that's something that this City side isn't that kind of side, is it? We're very different. We are the exact opposite side of the coin. We're a team. And I think Mahrez, sorry, I keep getting everyone's name. Mbappe, Neymar. I would say they're more individuals. I think that's probably fair. Doesn't mean they're not brilliant, but they definitely are, aren't they? They are. And maybe that's going to be what gets us through, that collective spirit, which feels like another level, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. The thing that this team will also be remembered for, and no matter how this thing turns out, in the end, is we went through 90% of the season without a striker. We went with a false 9 the entire time, and we just plugged whoever into that false 9 position, just throughout, and just whoever it was their turn. And that just symbolizes everything for the team, in the sense that it is a team. It wasn't like, okay, we got one striker, we're going to plug that person in, and they're going to be the striker for 85% of the games, and this person's going to play the wing, and this is we're going to play left wing, and that's how we're going to do it. That's not how this thing was. It's been a different lineup, it's been changes, and it's all been very reasoned, it's all been very thought out, and it's all been very team oriented. There's stars on this team. They're definite stars. They're world-class players on this club, but it's the togetherness of the team versus a bunch of individuals just running around, and that's going to be what symbolizes it in the end.
We've looked at a lot of positives in this again, because why not after winning this? But I want to actually reverse it, just because you're the last guest, and why not, man? Like, what is there to fear in the next leg? And I mean, that's a sincere question, not because there is obviously something to fear. I mean, what would be your concerns about the second leg if you had to try and pinpoint some potential weaknesses?
I have flashbacks of Spurs and City, in that quarterfinal. I mean, that's the thing I thought about when I saw PSG in the draw going against Pochettino again. That's the thing, is because I mean, as much as we say we want to say, and I definitely say it, I definitely agree that you make your own luck. So does the other team too. I don't think PSG is gonna just roll over. I think they're gonna have a point to prove, particularly if they get that first goal. If they get that first goal, then it's going to get interesting at that point, because it is really it is a 2-1 margin. It's a cool margin, a good margin, but it's going to be like, give up that first goal. Now, that does not mean I'm not confident. It just means that I'm going to start getting a little bit nervous, and so. That's kind of we win that Spurs match. It was just back and forth, goal. But it at the end of the day, and then we had the cameras making the decision at the end. You know, that's this crap like that is what I fear. But I'm very I am quite confident. And I mean, you asked one of the previous guests, you know, like, well, how did you feel in the first goal winner for PSG? And I was like, okay, let me answer that question. And I just sat there. I just looked and I was like, nah, no worries.
Yeah,
I mean, I had no concern.
I guess I wasn't nervous because I knew they were going to score. So when
I had no concern. I was like, yeah, I had no concern going in the match. I had no concern after the first goal went in. You know, and it was like, yeah, we're going to play our match and we're going to win. We're going to at least draw this thing. And then I was like, no, we're going to win this because they're rolling, they're reeling.
I guess the reason I feel confident is because, I mean, we all know it, but we're not really probably verbalized it enough. They literally have to score 2 goals. And that's like, at the start of the tie, you don't know what you have to score to win a game. Now, which is both reassuring and also it opens up possibilities, but no one knew. And that's the one thing the City didn't have. The good thing now is we know what we have to do. They know what they have to do, and it's a lot harder for them. Whereas when we went into our away game, we didn't know how it was going to go. So scoring 2 isn't easy. It's never easy, you know, in a game where you're away from home and you're against a team with the quality of Man City, with the quality of Stones and Walker and Diaz and all that. So that's like 1 goal for them means nothing. It means nothing. They're going out with 1 goal. So like we're in a very good position, I guess, is the point I'm trying to make. Probably a better position than it's probably even sunk in, you know, and maybe tomorrow, when we've had a bit of time to think about it all, it'll feel really, really good. But Keith, mate, I'm going to have to leave it there because I am beyond tired. It's 1:10.
Well, what are you at? Like 8 hours in straight streaming right now?
I think it's about 6.5, 7. Like either way, but it's been fun. I've fucking loved every minute of it. But this is a new record for me in terms of I don't know how those Twitch doers do it for like fucking 9-10 hours a day. Well, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. How
it's called tons of caffeine, Stephen.
Yes, it is.
Or something else. I don't even want to mention on air, but you know what I'm saying.
Haribo. I'm sure it's something nice and innocent. Either way, mate, you're genuinely a legend. Thank you so much for coming on, man. And I'm sure we'll chat again after a game. You're going to get to be involved in the outro as well, so you want to give a big wave to everyone. Guys, you're all absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for watching this 2 hours, 20 minutes later. But I tell you what, it was worth 2 hours, 20 minutes. We just watched the game again, basically. I should have put it on in the corner if I could have done it, as we all chatted away. For now, though, City have won 2-1 away at the Parc des Princes over in Paris. A huge night. Don't overthink it. Enjoy it because life is too short, as we know for the past year anyway. For now, though, have a wonderful evening. Go watch the match reaction if you want my take on the game as well. Big love to everyone who's come on. I cannot begin to possibly remember. I'll give it a go. Who was on? Keith was on. We had Silo. We had Sean. We had Mike. We had Kieran, Safi, Dat, and then I can't even bother now. I'm too tired. For now, though, wonderful. You're all awesome. Big love to every single one. Good night. See you later, guys.